play for fun, says the Flower himself. It is amazing advice. It is great. You should indeed do that. Playing for millions of dollars, also great. If you can do that, I definitely advise that as well, as we have got a match coming up that is for millions of dollars, but I don't think these teams are looking at it like that. We got EG versus OG coming up, but let's put that aside for a second, because there's been another competition going on, and that is the one for the Arcana. Will it be Ogre? Will it be Wind Ranger? Let's find out. Select, you get to keep your job. I am very happy for you.
Oh my God, are we live?
Can we do sync?
Yeah, you're live.
I always knew it. The memes win again, Casey. We beat him again. I love you, Ogre Magi. I love this community. She got trashed. She got trashed. Yes. 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 Ogre boys. Fake boys, thick boys for life. I love you, Ogre. I love this community. We're always right. Casey, we did it. We are Ogre Magi, all of us today, this blessed day. Thank you. Yes.
All right, we actually have Jake's reaction live as well for when the vote was done. He definitely is a very, very happy man.
He was. I'm glad you didn't hit Casey.
Now the question is, would he have actually quit?
Yeah, he would have.
He would have.
Yeah, the one thing I know about Slacks is like the only thing that really affects him is the community, and I think he would have been seen as like a sellout or something like that. So yeah, he's got to do it.
Oh God, I've made a lot of promises. I've never ate socks yet. Oh man, I'm a sellout. That means.
Did you tell me you like talk to your doctor? He's like, yo, you can't do that.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
really
so I had a
bad.
doctor's note for the community, so I'm good, I guess.
You're good. You're good. Yeah, I must say, I voted Wind Ranger, but I'm happy either way because Ogre. I'd rather have a lot of Ogres in my games than a lot of Wind Rangers.
Well, have I got the tournament for you, Shiver? The International 2019. You're going to see nothing but Ogre. This hero is dominating the charts. I don't know what kind of concept they're going to go with. 3 heads? Smart Ogre? Something else?
Both are terrifying, actually.
Yeah.
Both can be very terrifying. I can't wait. However, we have to wait for a while. And we also have to talk about something coming up. We have OG versus EG coming up. And that matchup, we're going to break it down. In case you're new to Dota, which I know there's a lot of people just tuning in for the first time, and there's a lot of history between these two teams on multiple fronts. But Tsunami, you want to break down the most recent one, the most obvious one.
The one that everyone always knows of is the super major drama. Let me take you back a little over a year. No-Tell, Fly, brothers in arms for as long as you could imagine. They played Han together. They came into the Dota community together. They briefly separated, went their separate ways. They came back together. And then it all fell apart.
2 weeks before.
2 weeks before the Super Major, right after ESL Birmingham, which, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend another documentary that OG recently released, which kind of shed some light on it. But 2 teammates, almost nearly family members with how close they were, they separated. And after that, it's just been drama ever since. Not necessarily, but that's the way that we like to look at it.
And it made both teams better. OG won TI, EG got third. They both did extremely well, right?
True.
So,
yes. They would have done not as well if they were the original OG squad.
Right.
I think everybody agrees
we assume,
with that.
Yeah.
Well, it is time for these 2 former friends to take the stage here at the International 2019. Let's get them on. Evil Geniuses will take the stage here as they get ready for an important match. Winning here would guarantee them a top 3 finish, and we know that they are waiting for that opportunity to break past the top 3 and get to first, but they have to beat a top opponent first. OG has been their roadblock before. Will it be their roadblock again? We're gonna find out as OG will take the pod opposite of them. OG taking the stage here, indeed, the defending champions of the international holders of the Aegis. We saw them during the opening ceremony, placing that Aegis on the pedestal as they now have rings as a remembrance of that achievement, but they are not done yet. They want more. They would like to be the first team to win 2 TIs and also be the one to do that in a row. Wouldn't that be a tremendous, tremendous achievement? That would be unheard of.
It would be.
We have never had that before.
No,
We've never had repeat champions, let alone back-to-back.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, most people going into the TIs that they just won honestly don't look that good. It might have been, honestly, EG after TI5, right? They went to TI6 looking okay, and now OG, they're so close to top 3, one more match, right? It's pretty insane.
Yeah, Will, there's a lot to talk about when we look at these 2 teams. And obviously, you know, you got the No-Tail and Fly story, but I want to focus on something else. You got Topson, you got Sumail. 2 Wonder Kids that basically have 1 TI first try. You know, you come to TI as a young kid, and you're like, okay, you know what, I'll take it. They both did it, and they're going to face each other. How important is this matchup for you in this game?
So in Korea, in StarCraft, we actually have a term for it. It's called, if you win the first major in your first ever try, you're considered a royal roader. You
royal roader.
Yeah, you
Okay.
walk
like
that
it.
path that no one else has walked. You are a royal roader. It's like the highest distinction.
There's
it means
not
like,
many.
Yeah, it means like 1 of 1. You were the best at the time. It's such an impressive feat too, because oftentimes like at TIs you want that veteran experience. And here, both of these guys were able to win it in their first go. It almost warps your perception. It's like, that was easy. And you just kind of stroll in, you win, you're like, okay, I guess that was no big deal. And I feel like that's stuck with them since. Especially for a guy like Sumail, I think that gave him unheard of confidence. And I feel like for Topson, it's done something similar. Because the way that this guy plays, I mean, he's completely fearless.
Yeah, and it was how dominant they did it too, right? Like Sumail was definitely the best player at that TI, and Topson, a lot of people say, I mean, a lot of people want to go with Anna, but Topson very rarely like played poorly in that. It was insane. They didn't just get carried.
So somebody, Matama Man said recently, he said, Topson is probably like the player that might lose his lane the most, but he's also like the player that'll just win you the game the most as well.
Yep.
Like he does it all. He does all the little things correctly. Like he plays the game the right way. His laning mechanics are like whatever because he plays very weird heroes that often lose his lane, but he'll make the game-winning plays.
That seems highly reminiscent of the critiques people had about Ana's early era into OG. Whenever they were winning majors and stuff like that, they were just like, Ana just keeps losing his lane, but somehow they keep winning, and that's sometimes what a team takes. Clearly, No-Tail and Seb know how to take advantage of a player who sacrifices themselves like that.
Yeah, you want to know about early OG days? Crit was on there.
Yeah, that's true.
He went to TI with OG, didn't do too hot, and of course he jumped ship. Went to EG?
The early one, yeah.
The
got
early
the ship
one.
early, bailed. He's like,
Yeah.
no, we'll wait for the rest of them to come on over, but, you know, I'll be here warming the seats.
Yeah, and he's gone through a crazy transformation, coming out from captain and then focusing again on the position 4 role Tsunami.
He had tanked quite a bit of abuse early in his captaining days as well. Every single time that EG would show up to TI obviously the bar was set at PPD captaining,
Yeah.
and you're like, well, if he's not as good as PPD, then what's EG doing? But he kind of came into his own. He's relinquished the captaining role, which I think was the best for him, especially with Fly coming in. That dude is far more accomplished, and it allows Crit to focusing on just one thing, which is just being a beast of a 4 position.
And when we talk about OG, and when you see them play, you've watched all the documentaries, there's one overarching factor. It is confidence and comfort, and they are just very happy to just play the game. Friendship, sure. You want to go there? That's fine. But it feels like that this TI so far, that has been the major factor in terms of win and lose. Sure, the Dota, the Dota we see is great, but I feel like that we kind of see, the auto system kick in, and then everything else, like, you gotta deal with the pressure.
Yeah, it's tough. I think OG, it's just crazy. Like, after win, after loss, you can just continuously see it doesn't matter to them, and they don't lose very much, so it's hard to see them after a loss. But it was funny. I actually took off my headset whenever they introduced the players to see, who the Chinese crowd really likes. And honestly, Seb was, I could not believe it.
They
Seb
were all yelling
Seb. Yeah, they were.
I'm not sure how much that chat we were.
Voice lines transcend
there was
languages.
a lot of clapping. It was pretty crazy. I was surprised. I thought it would be like no tell. And it's interesting because the 4 positions actually had the least amount of claps on both teams. I don't know what that says. Maybe they like their 4 positions more, but it was pretty crazy.
These teams are similar in the sense that you got Arteezy and you got Ana, both being big cornerstones of the squad, and then you got Jarex and Crit are kind of like, I know that they're the support, but they're also like the supporting role. They're not being as flashy as some other 4 supports, and we know that they can do it. It's just that the way they're playing right now, it might not be the case.
Yeah, I think some of the heroes are like, where's Earth Spirit? They're both known for their Earth Spirit, and you just don't really see it that much anymore. I wouldn't be surprised. It might get pulled out in this series, honestly.
It could indeed. What do you think is most important for this series, Tsunami?
I think that as easy of an answer it is, what are you going to do about IO? What are you going to do about this crap?
Yeah.
No one has a solution for OG's core.
I have a solution.
Tell me.
What's that?
You ban it.
Oh!
I think that's smart.
Wow.
Unprecedented. Shiver, get in the booth right now.
I mean, if we're being serious, I think you have to ban the IO and the mag, and you have to pick your poison between something like an enchant and a Chen. Like, that's just how it is to me. You can't give them those 2 heroes.
Well, how stubborn of a captain do you think Fly is? Because a lot of people are letting Game 1 go by. We're done with the BO1s. We're in BO3 territory now. You can afford to let maybe 1 game slip by.
I think you don't risk it. Will, what do you think?
I feel like you definitely don't, because I think a lot of this game is going to come down to like the mental fortitude of both teams, because there is so much history behind both of them. I could easily see a team losing game 1, having a hard time recovering, trying to do too much to recover into game 2. So I feel like getting out of the gate early on and just trying to get a quick win is sort of goal here.
Yep. And it's the mental aspect you talk of as well. And we know that OG actually, this TI, they have incorporated an extra member to their team.
Yes.
They now have the professional esports psychologist that formerly helped Astralis. And for people that don't follow Astralis is a CSGO team, and they struggled winning for a very long time, and then they incorporated this psychologist, and they won their first major. Just like that. Just getting into the right mindset. It's so important.
Yeah, I think Astralis might need to get that coach back, because they have been on the crumble lately. But yeah, it definitely works. Yeah, and it's crazy. They really are just 1 game away, 1 series away from that top 3, possibly a full-on rematch against LGD.
How crazy is it? What are the odds that OG has the near exact path?
It's true.
In the upper bracket.
Deja vu.
17 to 1.
As 2018.
Like that.
I've been in this place.
It's not that crazy. Yeah.
What? It's pretty crazy.
No, it's a little bit, especially because most of the teams, right? This feels like the first TI where teams that even did pretty poorly just stayed together. They're like, you know what? Let's do it.
Yep.
Reddit complains we keep shoveling teams. Let's show them 1 more year and let's see what happens. Obviously, for a team like VP, didn't go too well, but now you have the EG and even OG, even though they had ILTW for a bit. But now you're back with your full roster, and let's go.
Let's go indeed. And for OG, of course, we remember the group stages, and I'm sure EG remembers the group stages too. Unfortunately for them, they started out pretty weak, and in the second day, the first matchup for them was against OG. It was the OG EG special, and we were having big, expectations of this series, and then it was a bit of a trashing.
Yeah, it was actually funny. I was watching Boba and Sox, the coach, were just both watching on the same TV. And anytime like EG would start making a big play, Boba just start clapping nonstop, and then the fight would just straight up turn around. And I looked over, and of course the OG coach did the exact same thing, just started clapping, and they're literally right next to each other.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm getting out of here.
But talk to me about these two coaches, because they are so different. We didn't have Soxka with OG previous TI. He's with the team now. He's been with the team for a little while. What do you think is the main difference? We have obviously Boba drafting Tsunami, but Soxka not so much.
Yeah, I think Boba is more of like the judge, jury, executioner of the EG drafts. I don't really think that. Obviously, he talks with Fly and stuff like that, but the way that it seems like he sits in the pod, he puts on the headset, he's clicking the buttons a lot of the times. Whereas with Soxa, obviously he has Seb in the background, and Seb had a long storied history of being OG's coach. So it's more collaborative on the OG side, at least based on what we see outside, but we may be able to see Casey and talk to her for a little more insight.
All right, well, I know you want to make a point, Will, but you got to wait with it. You got to wait with it until after the first game of this blockbuster of a series. Let's get in to the draft.
OG versus Evil Geniuses. Game 1.
And that's the match we've been waiting for all day. The Evil Geniuses versus OG series. We have a lot in store for us. It's kind of a rematch of last year, but I feel like the paths have kind of swapped. OG had a really confident group stage this year. Last year they faltered. EG's on that pathway a little bit in some ways. What do you guys expect to see here?
Fun.
Just fun match?
Fun. Lots of battling. I think could be a really fast game, or it could be a really long one. I don't think the middle ground is really what I'm looking at here for this one. I think it could just go really, really one-sided on either one of those fronts.
I mean, OG has definitely done that sometimes recently. Yeah. In their last series, had some crazy 20-minute wins with abusing the IO strat, but not this game. IO getting banned finally.
I think EG. I've looked at the majority of their games, and they have much longer games. I mean, OG's kind of just been steamrolling a lot, right? Because they had such a successful group stage. But yeah, that's the one thing I'm concerned for EG. Is just getting caught off guard a little bit here and just getting kind of run over. So I think that they want to be able to take the fight to OG, because OG is going to look to battle a lot, especially from watching how EG's been playing a lot of the farm game.
I think right now EG expected OG to ban SD, but they left it open. So I think they're talking about how they're going to approach it. Because SD has been the hero of the tournament, and EG has picked it a lot.
And banning Naga Siren in the first phase is basically unseen right now, so they're just clearly trying to let a lot of Tier 1 heroes through? Is that what you're thinking?
I think they're just targeting EG's top heroes, right? They love their Naga Siren on Arteezy, and they absolutely love Sumail's Leshrac. So they're just like, okay, these are super comfort heroes for them, get rid of them.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too.
So, unlike the LGD VTG game series, the 3 supports left: Elder Titan, Ogre Magi, Shadow Demon.
Are they going to take the SD?
I think that's the best support right now.
It's like SD and Enchantress are in the pool, right? SD, Enchantress, and Chen if you want to go for that.
Oh yeah, Enchantress has been very contested between these two teams.
It's definitely something OG likes as well. They would have picked it if it got through.
Yeah, definitely. I think Notail is the only position 5 that's comfortable on the Enchantress. Usually when it's run by 5s on the other teams, they're playing it because they have to be playing it. It got too countered to be put on a position 3, so that's why it's played as a position 5. But I think whenever I see Notail on position 5 Enchantress, he looks so comfortable on that hero.
So there are ways to beat in lane. It's typically a super strong laner. It can pressure cores. That's a little bit of a turn here in OG. They've got something up their sleeve planned here. This is not at all what we expected to see based on the drafts earlier today.
I think I saw them run this one. I can't remember if I was casting the game, and I think these were the 2 heroes. I think they dual lane these, and it was Seb playing the tree, Jarek's playing this Grimstroke, and they put so much pressure on the safe lane. They would just ink swell this tree and protector, we just beat on them, and then Grimstroke would sit in the back and throw constant nukes, and it was actually pretty insane how much they were able to do. And it's a lot of magic damage right off the bat from a Grimstroke, and you also have a hero that can prevent Enchantress from getting her heal off. Not only with the stun, but with that Phantom that can be really obnoxious. If you don't get your heal instantly as Ench, sometimes you can get burst.
And it can be really nice as well if you have Overgrowth. You can just essentially lock her in position, land some other stuns potentially, prevent her from breaking the silence. Earthspit, great catch hero. Definitely going to be helpful for setting up kills. Good at punishing and catching heroes like Tree as well.
Yeah, one of Crit's signature heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really like the OG2 picks against the Enchantress. It might not have damage, but I think it comes from the damage comes from Thompson's and Ana's heroes. So the control is definitely there with the Tree and the Grimstroke.
I've seen them run a lot of Grimstroke with the... I think they were the first ones that I want to say at the MDL Major when they were doing Grimstroke with Phantom Assassin. And I know they had Magnus in a couple of those games, so we might not see that happen. But it's great versus the Enchantress. We've seen the rise of the PA as well. And just the combo. The Ink Swell with that quick Phantom Strike to get on top of targets is definitely a devastating one that I've seen them run a lot. They really do like that combo.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. Another team earlier in the main stage used Juggernaut, I think, in the safe lane as well against her. That can work well, because at least then you can spin the guaranteed damage, possibly kill her. But it's difficult to lane against her. We see a lot of carries that'll just kind of zone out of the lane at some point when you just kind of let her take the tower. But potentially OG could defend that if they, depending on how much tree armor they get. Since she doesn't push very well, tree armor, a little bit of defense there, it could prevent her from snowballing the lane as hard.
Wondering if EG wants something like I think they want at least some strong 5-position hero. What I'm looking at is actually, especially after that last game, even though it was FY playing it, Jakiro. Yeah. I think that's one of the heroes we see played a lot versus Tree and Protect, because you have this really slow windup and it just secures the lane, because Tree can sometimes just crush your safe lane. So I think that could be a possibility, and I think it's a good hero that works really well for EG with the Earth Spirit in combination.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Attack speed slows against anybody that attacks slow, and the other thing, tons of damage over time. It basically nullifies his armor if he ever wants to use it to save people mid-game. Batrider ban a potential matchup counter against Enchantress, or just good for the lineup here? What do you guys think?
I think they were maybe thinking about a position 5 Batrider from Motel, because it provides it's very strong in lane, position 5 Batrider.
It's true, they have ran it quite a few times in the group stage, if I remember now.
Interesting.
Yeah, Notel is very good at these like weird heroes that are not traditional position 5s, but it's very good at the laning.
It's always surprising too. I think one thing that OG does is they basically forge their own path. I feel like that's one of their keys to success. You could maybe say it's like comfort, they're happy, that kind of a thing. But I think it's also that even at tournaments that they lose, they're always doing their own thing. They're playing heroes in ways that only they're confident doing. Everyone else tries to adapt to the meta. Feels like OG is almost always trying to set it. And I think that's one huge advantage they have coming into TI.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, right last year when they're just like busting out off-lane Magnus, no one else is really picking that at all. Off-lane Tree was the same exact kind of style. Thompson playing all these like kind of bizarre heroes that he just is really comfortable on in the mid lane.
And terrible mid matchups too, where like every other team's like, oh, we can't have a bad mid matchup. He'll lose the lane, then go create space, force people to rotate against him, all to protect his team.
I had a feeling this one was coming in the third pick. Cooker saying that Grimstroke PA combo, they just love it, and it's such a good matchup versus the Enchantress, and it's gonna give you that late game insurance immediately right off the bat. So this, they love this combo. I've seen them do it so many times. Like I was saying, at MDL Major, we saw it do it like 3 times before.
Do you think it's good enough without Mag, though? Mag banned in first phase. We saw the PA Mag earlier today with a different series, even against the Enchantress, but PA's going to have to get her own farm. Or is she just going to do OG things and just fight constantly?
I think fighting constantly, I think they could still get a steroid, right? The Ogre is still in the pool, right? If they do want to go for that, that is a good way to protect the lane.
I mean, it certainly can help, but I just don't think that Bloodlust by itself is going to be enough, personally.
Okay.
Because you're still going to have to buy a farming item no matter what, right? Like, yes, you could go, like, Deso or something like that and hit creeps at decent speeds, but if you're jungling for long periods of time, not that OG does that much, I guess, I just feel like it'll be a detriment. Although the heroes that they're up against, all very low armor, so it's actually looking like a pretty solid PA game right now, at least once she gets BKB. CM just really strong lane support for EG. You can secure creep waves really easily. The downside, though, is that I think she's going to get run down. I do not want to play a CM if I'm against a Grimstroke tree lane. That sounds awful to me.
Sounds really painful.
And even against a Phantom Assassin, if I'm laning against that and I make a mistake or get out of position, I feel like it's going to be... I'm a vulnerability. I'm much slower than them. They're going to be able to get on top of me. But the bright side is much more mana for all of the EG heroes, and that should make their laning stages go better.
And let them at least put pressure on. That's what I'm seeing, at least when I see the Earth Spirit and the Enchantress picked up. It's looking like EG does not want to just like sit back and farm in this game. They want to be at least posing a threat.
Usually what OG is very good at, like even though they pick these weird heroes, they all like aim the same thing. They want to create chaos and bring the other team into their tempo. And I think with EG's picks, I think they want to match that aggression and the tempo. All these heroes can fight really early on, the Enchantress or Spirit CM so far.
Yeah, totally agree with that there. The Earthshaker picked up, so now, I mean, their lineup is looking pretty flexible. Just which one they do want to prioritize. It's more than likely going to be, I guess it's probably going to be the Jerax Earthshaker, right? And it's going to be no tail on the Grimstroke.
I would assume so.
So they're going to do that dual lane, I guess, with the PA, or maybe run some like aggro kind of lane with the tree, Grimstroke and the PA, and with the Earthshaker, Grimstroke, and PA.
Yeah. Yeah, it could definitely be a couple different things. I assume it's going to be No-Tail playing the Grimstroke. We saw him do that the other day as well.
Yeah.
He's going to be the counter lane pusher. Earthshaker's also going to be able to help out with that. So if they can counteract lane push that EG's pushing out, that'll be really nice.
They picked the TB into the Shaker, but they're more so trying to match the PA, right? Just that high armor carry that doesn't have to worry too much about a PA just jumping you and bursting you down.
It's also a tower pusher too, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about TB right now, Peppy?
I was 50-50 on this hero until today. I think LGD beat VG game 1 with TB, and they look pretty solid. I was thinking like this hero is too slow for this meta, yada yada yada, but it didn't seem like it. I think what EG wants to do is like a 4+1. Sumer is gonna be on this like hyper aggressive mid that can fight with them early on with the rest of EG's heroes, while RTD just sits back and farm up. It's gonna be a battle of TB versus PA. I would be kind of surprised if PA doesn't go Battlefield because he's gonna fall off if he doesn't.
That could make it a little bit harder for OG to fight in the early mid.
I wonder what the hero for. I mean, I feel like Thompson's going to want something that provides a lot of magic damage and even potentially push. Right now, I'm actually looking at the Pugna. I know he's a huge fan of the hero. I believe the last time they met up, he also was playing the Pugna. It's very good versus TB, great versus Enchantress as well. Can definitely be something to set the pace and put pressure on, and it's a Thompson.
What about Zeus? Zeus looks really good here too.
Zeus? I've been wanting Zeus, but we haven't gotten too many, man. I've been waiting for it.
I mean, if we're gonna get it, it's gonna be a Thompson Zeus, right?
That's actually very true.
Against TB, CM, all these like weak heroes.
I think he got banned out in their last series as well as the 5th ban, or 6th ban.
I do want to like point out that Sumer is gonna be having a rough game because Thompson's gonna be counter picking this whatever it is.
They banned it again.
Just gets taken out.
Pugna
looks really good now. Yeah.
EG was definitely missing lane push. Earth Spirit can't push lanes very well. Enchantress can't push lanes almost at all. CM can, and TB can a little bit, but they definitely need at least another hero that could also facilitate that. And it's more nukes, more stuns that'll help them kill the PA in the early mid game.
Oh, they're gonna go for the Thompson Invoker instead. Also, a great way of being able to run around the map and make space, right? I think that's his plan. He's gonna be the chaos maker. He doesn't care. I lose my lane, I don't care. I'm gonna move around the map and just try to shut down RTZ on this Terrorblade and just constant aggression to make Ana space. I mean, that's the story of Thompson in a nutshell.
I think it's a great hero to buff the PA slightly towards PA favor against the PA versus TB.
Okay. What aspect of it gives him the favor? Is it just like
the alacrity?
Alacrity?
Yeah.
All right, well, that is the draft, but before we jump into the game, we're going to have the last word with Gunnar.
So I'm a mid laner. I'm going to focus on the mid lane. Both of these teams need their mid laners to have a good game. EG with Sumail, he's always their tempo setter. He's going to carry the game in the first 25 minutes to give Artur some space, Arteezy on his TB. He's going to farm up the jungle. Sumail's going to be rotating with his team, running around, pressuring lanes, and taking towers. On the side of OG, Thompson is usually the tempo creator. He's going to win his lane, and he's always going to rotate first. And he's not going to worry about having to carry as he has N on his back. Both these teams, they have the two Earth Spirit gods. They have Crit and Jerax. EG having Crit with the Earth Spirit in this game. I think they're going to have the ability to kind of rotate around early. He's going to kind of pressure the mid lane, so I'm going to be a little scared for this Invoker on Thompson to be pressured by this Earth Spirit. He's going to maybe get a little pressure. His tower might be killed early with the Siege Wagon at 5 minutes. I think there's going to be a lot of fights. The TB and the PA are both going to be farming. I think this game go a little late. There's going to be a lot of big fights. I think our two casters, Tobyone and Cinderin, are going to be the two bigger carries of this game.
Ah, isn't that so nice? You know, we've got our
I'll
game.
carry you.
Oh, thanks, Sin. That's Sin.
No problem.
I'm small. I'm light now. I'm actually I'm backpackable.
Yeah, I've gained weight, so that's perfect. There you go.
Great transference. We've got our game faces on, Sin. We're ready to go right now. OG, they're the same. And of course, you start with an OG draft. You think everything's going to be normal, but I got a thing to break to everyone at home. That is not a support ES. That is a 3-position ES played by Seb, and Notel will move on to the Tree and Protector just for a little bit of interesting spice because OG can never conform.
Not only that, exactly. We were talking about, oh, is it going to be a Seb Treant or is it going to be a Seb Shaker and a Jerax Treant? But they swapped it out completely, putting Notail on a hard 5 Treant. They think that this Grimstroke being position 4 can have a huge impact on the game, and a possible reason for that could be the Grimstroke Ags in this game being a really, really powerful Aghanims against Terrorblade. Creating that illusion when he's used Metamorphosis, it can deal serious damage. And something we've seen out of OG in this tournament so far is they're really good at doing quirky mechanical stuff, like having these weird, creative new ideas where you use new stuff that's in the game. The IO Aghanims is new, the Grimstroke Aghanims is new, so I could definitely see that being the line of thought for them here. On EG's side, though, I love what Gunnar said. Keep an eye on mid. That is where stuff is going to be happening.
Thompson's already starting up. Just in case you didn't know, EG, look into my eyes. What do you see?
Well, they plant the flags, but it didn't scare OG or EG away from getting 2 runes at least. So I guess they planted the flags on one side only.
I was actually waiting for them to do what they did in the first series. We actually got cast on this main stage. It's like, oh, this would be fantastic. OG, that game was done. But they started off with like 4 flags, all planted around 1 bounty rune. But let's have a check of our lane. So as we had now a quick 1 minute, Thompson Invoker, he's going the course to begin with. We'll see how he transitions. The battle against Mail, it gives us an aggressive lane up on the top. Anna and Notel, they've been dual laning together for absolutely ever, but EG, they bring 3. If the first 2 doesn't succeed, you bring everybody. Pushing Anna back under the tower with a Metamorphosis damage. He's actually going to have enough. Anna will die on top lane. Arteezy spills the first blood. You want to send a message, that's a good way to do it if you're EG.
And this is one of the biggest benefits of Enchantress as a hero, is that you can leave her alone in the start against this lane. I don't see them killing her down here with Seb and Jerax, but at the same time, Jerax can't leave because Seb will lose the lane. So EG, with the right read on how to get the lanes to begin with, could get them off to a very nice start here.
And with the Sentry Ward down, yep. How does Jerax coming close? He's going to have to work with them. Anna being initiated on once again. Arteezy still got a little bit more time to get that range damage in, but now lose attention to Notel. Consumables are going to be the order of the day for OG, while in mid, Thompson, he's so low, battling against the metal. The cold snap will push him back.
They have rotated Jerax top, but what this will do now is that S4 will have almost a full level advantage against Seb bottom early on, or at least a decent one. And once Enchantress gets level 6, this lane is not inhabitable for Earthshaker anymore, so OG. This top lane, when you rotate like this, you have to win it, or you need to at least ensure that Ana feels somewhat happy up here.
Yeah. Actually getting some CS would be a nice way to move forward. I'm loving Thompson and Sumail. Like, Thompson literally requesting, Sumail, come and fight me. I'm not even getting us out. There's not even one coming out. Sumail able to hit these back-to-back stuns, missing uphill 2 times. Thompson, he'll get back under the tower. He's juggling the balls, but he'll drop them. Underneath the tier 1.
Oh, there's a regen!
One of my favorite.
Thank you, Ice Frog.
I was going to say Gaben, but they're the same person, so.
Everyone's Ice Frog in their hearts.
This is a huge start for EG, honestly. Good cold snap from Thompson will at least stop half of the regen rune. He wants to high-five with Sumail. Sumail will high-five him, so at least there's some friendship in the mid lane.
Sumail will bring his bottle in.
Never mind, no friendship mid lane.
Here comes the ES, roll in from Crit, the kick, a little bit off target, and Thompson just sends them up in the air for a quick moment.
So Sumail is winning mid for sure. Enchantress S4 is winning bottom for sure. And this top lane is currently Arteezy far ahead because of that first blood advantage as well. So fair to say right now that EG are ahead in all 3 lanes. And no tell is going to be from OG. They're trying to get in on fly. Lovely new cosmetic. I love this new aura.
What is this? It's like I got a bubble. I got a frost bubble.
When you skill up Arcane Aura, every time it levels up, all of your allies have like an animation for a short time.
Oh, rolling boulder in from Crit, well off the target. And it's OG trying to get a little bit of space. No tell. This stunning up Crit for the moment. Good protection.
So the roll misses, but Arteezy is the one having the best time regardless. Even if these spells miss a little bit, OG seem unable to make their own aggressive moves, and Arteezy is just denying creep after creep. PA, what's her CS right now? 15 for 3. It's actually pretty good from Ana so far in this lane.
I'm loving watching this mid lane. I can't even take my eyes off it. I should be looking at the top lane because there's a tri lane up there, but Tops is just living on either a prayer or quarter HP. Maybe both. He just refuses to move back out of this lane or bring a salve. He keeps getting clipped.
Oh,
an illusion ring for him, but Crit gonna rolling boulder in top, sidesteps quickly. Space to be created. He's got caught up in Tornado. Able to connect on both Sumail, but the Flame is able to reach up 2 levels to reach Thompson on Cloud 9.
And this is how this mid lane is going to be. Sumail and Thompson will be trading non-stop. Invoker wants to trade so he can make use of the Quas Orbs, and Sumail wants to trade because he can kill with an ally. And that's the second kill here in mid now. Sumail off to a really hot start.
You know, I've thought that before, and then Thompson's Monkey King kicked in. So,
it's a bit different.
It's definitely a different style of game. There was definitely an Io and Magnus in that series as well. But I also just kind of want to think about another lane. Number 1 on the CS right now is actually Seb. He's been running this bottle on the bottom lane. He's going to try and control both the 5-minute bounty runes. S4 does not want to let that happen. So Seb will back off, and you see Crit already rotating over. And S4, it looks like he wants to try and contest.
Oh, okay. Seb didn't want to fight for it. So that's 3 runs for EG. He was respecting the rotation out of Crit. Saw him on that observer ward in the bottom area that Crit was coming. So his TP at least secures that rune. And now I'm really curious what Seb's going to do here. It's actually the thing I'm most curious about in the game now, because from my experience, this lane will be completely unplayable for Shaker once Enchantress is level 6. The only thing he can really do is take creeps with Fissure. Every time you try to melee a creep with Enchant Totem, you will take 2 or 3 impetuses your way, and it's just not feasible in the long run. So what is he going to do? He's pulling the wave for now a little bit.
I look towards mid, rolling boulder in, Laguna Blade is up for Sumail. It's the first Fire Striker 8, EMP Tornado. Sumail's going to lose a lot of mana. The Cold Snap, he's still just got enough to get into Thompson with the living armor. It has arrived, and Thompson will survive the first Laguna of this game.
It's very unusual that you see a Trant not skill living.
Fly, he's back again. He may have survived Laguna, but can he survive everything else? Jirax will arrive. It's a good stroke into the stun. Now Crit's caught on the wrong side of the tracks. Nice turnaround for OG. Took 6 minutes, but now they're on the board. Off the mark. 1-3.
And No-Tail, he's ready to fight Fly on the rune, but No-Tail doesn't have Leech Seed. He's 1-0-2 build, extremely defensive Treant build, not getting even that one skill point to help in the lane, but focusing on how much can I help the other lanes with that living armor.
Do you actually think the living armor build-up is also... Oh, hello, rolling boulder down towards the bottom lane. Jirax under attack, like cram between S4 as well as Crypt. But we saw OG when they played the Treant before. They're always looking to repair their towers. How does Arteezy actually take these towers if you level up living armor very early on? How hard do you have to commit as the Terrorblade to actually bring down the tower?
That's actually part of the brilliance in this Terrorblade pick, because first, the obvious thing is that it's good against the PA, right? You have high armor, so you're good against these hard-hitting physical attacks, but the second part, Terrorblade is a really good hero at forcing down towers from half or full to 0. So he can deal with it if they group up and make a team move. It's one of the best heroes against Treant Protector in this early stage of the game as a carry. You can't really ask for anything better than that.
Yeah. But because they will still lose that mid. They will still lose that tier 1 tower on bottom lane.
Fly is going to plant some enemy in mid. Okay. Sorry, I don't know those characters, so I can't tell you what they are. But there's probably some deep meaning to this. Jerax.
He's going to
into Fly. Okay, see ya. They're both backing off.
Nothing to be had here apart from Jerax potentially killing the courier on the way back. Yeah, but with the tier 1 tower dropping, S4 was just able to force the issue. No-Tail's watching Arteezy rotate over, but he's burned a large portion of this Metamorphosis.
That's such an early Midas for S4. He's going to be rich this game. 730 Midas with Boots and Basilius. It's really, really good times for S4. And you look at the CS chart, all top 3 sitting on that EG side. And the Shaker, who was doing well in the start, I think quite a bit of his CS is probably jungle creeps. And now this, again, this bottom lane, is he going to be able to farm here? Well, S4 is moving, so for now he is.
EMP Tornado just pushing Smell back a little bit further.
Absolutely perfect.
But Ana is still doing well. And this top lane, we know how important it is for OG to give Ana a good game. And his game looks solid right now. He's sitting on the 50 CS minute 8. Same as the Terrorblade. They're both level 6. So both of these heroes are having a good game and are happy.
The only downside for Ana is he doesn't have like that Empower buff up he's used to, so he's having to build into the Battle Fury on the Phantom Assassin just to still keep finding that farm rate. Gerex is hoping for something on bottom lane. Seb's got a lot of damage to work with. Now completing up the phase boots. Potentially able to run down some of these heroes, and Durax just needs to start him off. So there's the Inkswell. Okay, that's maybe not exactly the way he planned to do that. That was not the right target. And now Seb's kind of trapped behind the tree line. Sprit's wondering if he can get some help. But Seb, now he's going to find him. Starts with a totem, follows up with a fissure, echo slams just for good measure, and Crypt tanks through a lot of it. Raindrops help out with that, but they'll still take the kill. That was a lot harder than it needed to be for OG.
Yep. And they don't get any structural damage in here, it looks like. They're not going to hit the tower, but it's a kill. It all helps. Gotta find what you can as OG right now, as your playmaking potential, as was talked about by the panel, is mainly coming from Topson, but since he lost his lane by a bit, the tempo is not that high. So at least you can use Grimstroke with Shaker. And, well, they're still hitting the tower. I reckon EG want to defend this somewhat.
It feels like they should, but they're going to finish the tier 1 and then TP down? Where are they? Actually, yeah, you can't. This damage is taking forever without the creep wave, so maybe they're okay with it. They're wasting time with No-Tail. He actually came underneath the Observer Ward under the bottom room, so Flyer was just waiting for the attack to come in from Topson.
And Topson's going to walk through the same ward that No-Tail just did. EG know exactly what Topson is up to. And with him starting to play between mid and bottom, they're absolutely not defending this tower now.
They've worked it out.
It takes them so long, but, you know, slow and steady, eventually you'll get it. If nobody comes down here, Gerex has been pushing this tower for like a full minute. And now the siege creep is going to come and help them finish it off the last 5%.
You'd actually think you'd get more levels out of this too by being in the lane. S4's attacking into the tier 1 tower mid. It's the last remaining tier 1 tower for OG. They're really having trouble controlling their map area, but normally OG sacrifice heroes in the early game. It seems the tier 1 tower is the next thing on the menu for OG. No-Tail can't come close. He's in range of the sentry. S4 doing a good job not to reveal the fact that he can see him. Not reacting in any way, but now the creeps move towards him. No-Tail realizes they can see me. In fact, not 1, not 2, but 3 sentry wards had to be planted in that mid lane just to see things.
But it's well worth it. They got the biggest tower of the game, and there was no fighting from OG because Treant is only level 5, so they didn't have the Overgrowth, they didn't have the Soulbind, both supports from OG sitting on those level 5s when EG supports are level 6. That's such a huge difference in power. Seb?
Yeah.
Oh, that was really good timing on the Aftershock.
He'll get the double Fisher stun out as well, but S4 enchants him up. Seb can't make it to the trees. Well, he was probably hoping he could TP away to safety. Some clever juking, but it will not happen. And Fly gives the tip back to Seb. Seb, he seems to be the master of the memes on OG. Fly gets a little bit of a rebuttal. And actually, well, Fly, that was maybe a little short-lived. OG have come back. By me indeed.
He's dead. Is that an urn charge? It is. That's big. Keep an eye on Invoker's Vessel charges in this game. It's the way they're going to kill the Enchantress. Until S4 has a counter item, that is the one way they can kill her outside of using the PA for the hardcore physical burst.
Because of his great start, he's actually going in for just the Dragonlance to begin with. I don't know if it's going to be the full Hurricane Pike, but they're looking for initiation. ES rolling forward, Topson, and that movement speed. Haste Rune is up, 550 on the board. And S4 being watched by Notel. They know he's coming in from the side, so Thompson knows how much he can get away with cold snap to Mail, trying to get his own stun. The silence is there from Crit, and they're not hitting every ability, meaning the back movement is possible. In fact, Jirax will die to S4. Notel for the overgrowth, but Fly starts letting it go. 2 heroes down for OG. This is not the clean Chris Dota we've expected and already seen from them this tournament.
I think the games that we saw on the main stage yesterday was also Newbie giving OG flat out their best picks. They gave them IO and Mag, and EG just come in with better preparation. They know exactly how they want to approach this first game, and they're looking great so far. I find it funny how Ana and Arteezy are literally not getting involved in anything. They've been playing top both of them for pretty much 13 minutes straight, not moving across the map. Are actually not true. Arteezy might have been part of a push in one of the sides, on one of the other lanes.
It's fight time. It's Blink reveal over on the ESP. Ready! Here's Seb! Fly and Crit just evaporate. S4's also on the run. Seb, he's got Fissure up. S4, you're staying with your feet wet. No way to get away from the spray. And he's locked inside the pit with the double stun from Smell. Maybe a little bit extra space. S4 back to Thompson, who's the one in trouble. Seb, he'll blink over. Now he's trying to control up both Arteezy, Smell, and S4. No, that ain't happening. Done up, and Seb is gone. Overconfidence with a capital Seb.
That is the most ambitious TP of the main event, I think. He TP'd right next to Alina with Lightstruck array ready.
Maybe he's like, oh,
that was a nice blink
he's
reveal.
He's going to be out of mana, right? Maybe there's a chance.
It's a good blink reveal, but at the same time, you would have loved to get a core kill. You got the 2 supports. You got the Maiden and the Shaker with your Echo Slam. You get a little bit bloodthirsty on Thompson. He starts chasing. And Thompson was kind of lucky to stay alive there too. He almost died to S4, and you see the problem they have with this Enchantress. The only way... They were 4 heroes against Enchantress, and she was Fissure locked off, and it wasn't even close. Like, they were tempted to try for it. Not possible without the PA. The Vessel will change things, but it's not there just yet for Thompson. He needs another 200 gold.
Same with the Battle Fury for Ana. Maybe he starts getting involved after this is able to arrive. The win probability is keeping it nice and close, 51-49. That's what we want to see. We've already had an amazing day of Dota 2. Let's keep the streak going late into the Shanghai night. The 15-minute bounty runes in 10 seconds.
Looks like a 2 for 2.
Yeah, it should be. EG will claim the north, OG will claim the south.
There it is.
Yes, I can.
Oh, rolling boulder. Up towards top. Crit won't have a crack at Ana. Arteezy doesn't have any damage or a stun, which is required to stop Ana. So Magnetizer will go on cooldown for a while from Crit.
Got any more Chad wheels left?
It's kind of the issue when rolling boulder became your stun instead of just the kick.
Yeah.
Then they move in towards the mid lane. Rolling boulder once again over towards Thompson. Jirax is nearby. Gonna put down the Ink Swell, but Thompson, the damage may just be more than enough to kill him. He turns for an EMP Tornado, but in death he'll burn mana, but that's it. Fly once again being very liberal with that freezing field.
They're immediately putting this lens to use. Sumail's lens, or well, not immediately, but in that instance they are putting it to use, showcasing how good this item can be against a hero like Invoker. Their reach is just exceptional. Earth Spirit can roll in from really far away, and the Lina can very easily follow up, even though the Earth Spirit stun is only level 2. It's enough for Sumail to
S4, here's your combination. Seb will get the first stun off, and maybe not the greatest of chaining against this S4 Enchantress. They're trying to find the damage. Notel has to go into the overgrowth, put the quick silence out, but Sumail's already arrived from a long way down. He's able to get the stun. There's no movement back from Seb.
I don't get it. Why didn't they just hit him?
Good question. Hey, maybe he's untouchable.
Just hit him.
So now is EG being aggressive. Thompson with the high ground. The EMP Tornado. Going to make it difficult for Arteezy. Decides not to dodge it, but he's got 21 charges.
I love that you say decides not to dodge it. There's so many clips of Arteezy manta dodging whatever, so you're just assuming he will never fail. He decides not to. There's no way he could have failed that, right?
Hey, put Arteezy up on a pedestal for a clip.
He is very rich, by the way. 10k net worth, 17 minutes in. It's generally a very dangerous proposition to give Terrorblade complete free farm, but I just think in this game OG barely had a choice with their draft. It's just very defensive, very slow, with both PA and Treant and Grimstroke. They need to have someone to play around, and since the other two lanes were EG favored, the tempo of the game is just completely being dictated by this EG side. Now what I do want to say OG shouldn't do, stop going for this Enchantress. Have to accept asking your PA to this kill. It's too hard for you, kind of ever, unless you see us on the map. Because the counterplay is dangerous too, right? Everything.
Yep.
And then, what if there's an Earth Spirit coming in with this Alina?
This is when you need, you need Stifling Dagger from range, you need Seb to be the controller, you need to create a little bit more space. And I'm actually liking this a little bit more from Seb. He's going in for the Aghanim Scepter, then he's going to build for the BKB, so he can be that nuisance that we know and love, and give Ana that space to farm. He doesn't want to join it. This is the way OG always play. It's core attack, one farm. Yep. He's now ahead of both S4 as well as Sumail. But he's still got to get in front of Arteezy. But Ana, he's going to move quick. He's going to farm quick.
Mathematically, let these two heroes completely free farm from the start of the game, and they buy whatever items. They has better farming potential. He can farm wave while farming jungle. His first ramp-up items are just faster. The PA has to build this whole battle curve before trouble starts kicking in.
Notel walking in range of the sentry ward. That dire sentry would get quickly dewarded. They had another one further up, but Ana and Jirax on the bottom lane trying to push, but Sumail's already moving down. Coming past his own shrine, TP support's on the way. So ES stop. Jirax gonna land out a stun over on ES, but PA can't really do much. It's Sumail! This like is coming from downtown. The Hextra help, EMP trying to hit Thompson, actually catching in the back of play. He roots up Ana, then lets it go. No way to escape, or is there? Of course there is. It's the Phantom Assassin. Not caught out the same way as the short film contest. It's able to blink away to teammates, but she's got those. Then straight back to mid, straight back to the farm. The living armor to protect, building into this Desolator.
Yeah, why didn't the PA just blink strike the vent?
Because
she blinked it right before.
Yeah.
Why didn't she have refresher though?
Cool.
30 seconds till bounties.
Why are you just not a better player?
30 seconds till bounty runes. There's no vessel charges, so this fight for OG, if they choose to run into the enemy team, will be hard. Oh, speaking of running into them, Thompson.
Yeah, Tornado's out. Fly gets sent up. Crit's going to work, but EG, they've started Roshan. That's what they want. Invoker, living armor's giving him some extra life. Deafening blast gets a 3-man pushback. A quick Yule Scepter up, and the rolling bottom. No, he misses, but Sumail will not. Roshan, he's still ticking down. 3.5k, and OG are in no position to contest this. And it looks like they also have no idea.
Notel was thinking about getting this bounty rune, but it would have got him killed. So that's going to be Roche, as well as 2 runes. And what do they pay? They don't even pay a tower bottom. OG
Seb's trying.
Falling further and further behind.
7,500 and increasing as the net worth advantage. The experience is shooting up as well.
And this is it's a bit reminiscent of one of Thompson's Invoker games, the TI-8, where I think it was against LGD. They sat on him really hard in mid and just slowed down his tempo, because OG's strategy when they play this mid Invoker with Cross Wex is very momentum based. And you stifle that momentum, and so all of a sudden OG's lineup just feels so much easier to deal with. In this game, it's the Earth Spirit Lina getting these couple of kills on Thompson. Now they just killed him again. No vessel charges, and it just Arteezy's having the time of his life. This is such a free game right now.
I love
Terrorblade. He has Butterfly. He's at bottom minute 20.
Arteezy's looking damn good. I love how you bring up the Sumail point, because it was Sumail who used to be the one like, oh man, this kid's really, really good. What do we do? He's playing Storm Spirit with momentum base. Let's just kill him every single time. They're faced at EG, and now they're dishing it out against OG.
And now Arteezy feels confident to go and push towers. He knows he has the Aegis, so even if he gets Echo Slam, there's that second life. And we'll hit the tower. OG seem like they want to try to defend this one though. Deso is completed on Ana. This is his first peak.
Seb's doing the full wraparound. He wants the greatest clip-worthy Echo Slam of all time, but he'll take the Courier instead. That'll work. They lose the tier 2 tower in the meantime.
It gives away information though. Yeah. EG know OG are coming from behind.
Thompson is looking for Sumail. He wants him in the trees. He's going to move up. And now, well, EMP Tornado. Sumail, they want to send him dry. A Yule Scepter, defensive. Nothing is burnt. And now they all turn around for the fight. And it's moving forward. They'll Soulbind S4 as well as RTZ together with a double silence. Letting it go. Fly, he's doing the work. Laguna Blade. Anna just cannot stand in this fight. The rest of OG want to get the hell out there. Now they've killed Crit. But Seb magnetizes on him. The Fuel Scepter is up. And Seb is down. Thompson will be able to survive. He's waiting a little longer, though, before he'll use his TP away.
And the MVP of that fight for me is Crit. He rolls on the Shaker. He keeps the Shaker as well as Invoker busy for a good, 20 seconds before he finally dies. And it makes this fight so easy for EG. I wonder if we're going to get a replay of that. I think we saw the rolling boulder, but then the fight was happening on the top side. It's just...
Thompson's clearing the creep wave. He understands they can't push up high ground. The illusion is actually giving the tower health with the regeneration up. It's all backdoor protection.
But EG lost nothing there. They didn't even use meta. They didn't have it. So next tower, it's already being circled by Fly. We're going to see it now. So Thompson catches a mail, good defensive use, but this roll, the Earth Spirit is going to stay down here forever. Okay, it might not be on the replay either because we see the fight up top, but you can imagine for yourself what's happening off screen. If you look at the minimap, there's an Earth Spirit just there, forcing Echo, keeping two heroes at bay forever, and Ana just still feels like he can't really fight. He goes in and just gets blown up by spells.
It didn't help that he ended up jumping into Laguna. There's no BKB to protect him, and he jumped right on top of the Crystal Main to try and stop the freezing field, so the rest of the team can move fight. But we're having this own debate as well. It's like, can the Crystal Maiden actually die? We were asking this during the drafting phase. Is this just going to be a massive problem? It's looking high, Thompson.
Historically, PA has just murdered many a Crystal Maiden over the course of Dota games, but nowadays, Maiden has a health talent. She buys bracers. Look at Maiden's health right now. Sure, it's only 5 armor, but she has 1430 health with just 1 bracer and a 1 in this talent. Can buy a Ghost Scepter maybe, can buy another bracer, just tank up, and you will not be one-shot jumped by this PA. You get a chance to hold your ground, and if you get your ulti off, all this defensive armor is gonna, be super helpful for you.
Here they
High ground
come.
time, DD.
Double damage for him, bottled up, ready for this right moment. The living armor won't protect this much longer. But
Holy
what do they
shit,
do?
this goes fast.
Yeah, it's gone, man, it's gone.
Yo, do you want to defend?
Maybe.
Good
Send it up in the air, get rid of the double damage with the EMP burn. RTZ again decides not to dodge the EMP, and Seb, he jumps in, he has the Aghanim Scepter up without Thunder. RTZ's got the life buff on Seb. Take that melee Rax, take the range one as well. What's PA got in return? The bottom tower? That's not enough. They need more. But EG, first ones to claim Rax against OG, and they do it in under 25 minutes.
This game has been very one-sided so far. I wonder if OG can find a way back. We've seen them come back from ridiculous situations many times before, but
it's
definitely...
It's a PA crit that I never want to say is not going to work. What happens once Phantom Assassin gets buffed up? What happens when you start giving her Alacrity with a BKB, putting her into the fight? Can EG then, hold through that blast? Thompson, what are you doing?
This is an item that'll help. The Enchantress picks up the Solar Crust, so whoever the PA jumps on, S4 will defensively Solar, or of course he can offensively Solar as well if they're going for kills, but this item is so good when you have Terrorblade in your team. Giving him that massive burst of attack speed, he's a monster in this game. Just flat out insane farm.
OG is still prepping for the fight.
Yeah, it feels like they need to wait for BKB of Ana, and then they can try to make a move with a smoke, try to find a way to get a fight inside their own vision where they can get an overgrowth. You need to overgrowth this Terrorblade, but he has both Manta and BKB, so he has 2 breaks now instead of only the 1 of Manta. It's a tall order, and probably the lowest impact we've seen from No-Tail in any game at this tournament. It's hard. Options don't exist.
RT's going to be a full-on cannon with an MKB. You got to see that Lotus Orb actually arrive from Jirax. He does have the Ether Lens, so at least you'll have that cast range. Thompson, 400-ish gold away from having his Aghanim Scepter build up. All of this is slowly going to arrive.
It's going to help. It's definitely going to help to get this Ags. He has some good solutions for Terrorblade illusions. He has Tornado, the Deafening Blast, EMP, Ice Wall.
They're pinging out Seb. There's what is this guy doing down here? The creep wave's coming to a tier 3 tower. How crazy is the ES? Crazy enough that you're happy to bring Sumail back, but he can BT back to the front lines.
Yep. Well, hopefully not the front lines. That's not where Lina wants to go. Took the damage talent on Lina as well, on level 15, the Light Strike array damage, so it doesn't feel threatened enough to take all the health. It's a pretty good pickup to get health against a hero like PA, though. You're naturally not too high armor. And I think earlier today we saw Moon, when he was playing the Lina, I think he took the health talent in that game against a PA. I believe. Maybe.
I'll say yes.
Different approaches to the same problem. Aghanims.
Done.
Yep. The problem for Ana now is you're like, finally I have my BKB, but the counter item's already ready. There's the Aghanims on Lina, and there's the Terrorblade MKB. So this upcoming fight...
Oh, Seb's dead. Seb is totally dead. He's just walking right into the middle of EG. Smoked up, looking to attack. The Haste Rune is down, but he can't have enough life. Even with the jump up the hill, he can't make it. So Seb is down. Ana was hiding himself on the bottom lane, so it was Seb who was walking away. Both were there together, hoping someone from EG, just one person like Lina, would come out to try and fight. But they have no creep waves. They're pushing in. They're going to fight with the Alpha Lock. Does EG actually have enough? No. No. You have protection on multiple fronts, Clip, as well as 7 charges of living armor. They'll burn through it, and now you see the power of EG. The tower is gone. Febby asked, like, wait, can this guy actually keep up with the current pace of this meta of Dota? You see that type of push? Yeah, he can do it.
He's got the tower, but he can't backdoor the melee racks. It's too much regen, too tanky. But he's going to take the tier 3, he's going to take the shrine, he's going to keep cutting the mid-wave. Good job from Thompson to make sure the mid-wave was pushed out. If he didn't manage that, they could have lost Rax in this instance. And OG, it's desperation time. They need to fight. The Metamorphosis is running out.
Anna walked underneath the Observer and Sentry, comes right up towards RTZ. Thompson finds his own target. It's S4. Send him up. The missed timing though. Seb jumps in, instantly silences him. Seb, what have you got with the Soulbind? Looking for the stun. Anna looking for his own point of damage. S4. Anna can't attack in first. One more attack will do it. Anna's able to get down and then jump over for a double kill into play. Rolling ball rim. On the start. Break away from the Mail. He plays the high ground. Obi-Wan a Mail. He is able to push him back. Support is all buying back right now. Invoker so low in life. These never-ending stuns come from the Lina. The Echo Slam. It arrives finally in from Seb. But what space is being created? It really seems to be all for EG. A jump away for the Sun Electric Race still holds true. And Seb runs for the trees. But he will not be safe. Under the opposite Sentry 2. Durex has no way to run away. Terrorblade will create the mirror, staying just out of the range of the stun. Notel wants to help out. Arteezy just diving in. Anna, at least he can get a crit, but Arteezy, remember what he came here for a while ago? It was to take the lane of Rax, and they've got the damage output. They've got the creep wave, and OG have no defense. Maybe they can kill off Sumail if he comes up high ground, but the rest of EG are moving towards the mid. They want to fight Anna. He blinks out for Sumail. Damn this hard. He blinks away and Lagoon's his ass. They want to go deeper into OG's base. You may have farmed Newbie, but you won't farm this time around OG. EG under the tier 4 towers. Maybe this is a little bit too deep, but there's only 2 players up trying to defend this. Here comes your meatball down, but Invoker, he's got nothing more to give. Notel into the base. They're all dead and GG. EG take game 1. Here when it counts on the main stage.
They got destroyed. I think that's fair to say that was a very, very one-sided game. EG.
That kid, right? Sumail, not a kid, he's mad. He trashed that mid lane so hard, but these long-range stuns, but you called out the ether lens, but it felt like Sumail was just this permanent lockdown, but never in any trouble from OG.
It was not really fair, maybe. That was the problem.
Well, they picked
it. That was not fair.
OG had last pick, right?
Yeah, but the Earth Spirit factor. What are you going to pick against Lina Earth Spirit that you feel like just can't die? Maybe Brood, but I think it might have been banned. Brood could have actually been a really good pick this game, but I don't think... Does Thompson even play that hero? Not sure.
Don't know.
But yeah, what can I say? EG, I think the biggest key to the game here from them was that they placed the lanes correctly. That was what gave them the start. Ench against Shaker, they get the aggro tri-lane that OG weren't expecting, and the mid lane, they destroyed it. So excellent job from them.
excellent job from Evil Geniuses. Indeed, the mental warfare that was at play here did not phase them one bit. If anything, it actually lit their fire, Grant.
That sure felt like, if you're gonna drop that banner in mid lane, you gotta have a better performance than that, because Sumail, as they said, he just completely dominated. Obviously, Crit, came over and helped a little. Even Fly came through and helped. They really did not want Thompson to have a game.
Yeah, but you know who you didn't talk about?
Who's that?
You didn't talk about S4.
Who?
And I want to talk about S4. I want to talk about Enchantress. What is this hero? What is she capable of? Allow me to demonstrate. If I may show you through the powers of technology, we have a hero with a passive called Untouchable. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Enchantress as a hero, you just see 1340 HP, you think, oh, okay, she's blocked out 4 heroes, obviously she should be dying. Okay, maybe a lucky stun. All right, maybe she's doing a little bit too much damage. Screw it, Seb says, I don't even want to deal with this hero. S4 is just chucking out these impetuses without a care in the world. That's still 6 minutes into the game, something like that. 16 minutes in the game. We slowly progress a little bit forward. S4 has a Midas. Life's good. Oh no, it's 3 heroes. You'd think that I would be dead. Oh no! You couldn't finish her off. Things are starting to get a little bit bad now because the rest of EG has shown up all of a sudden. S4 lives, not a care in the world. And one more time, in case I haven't made my point, I don't even need to know what's going on. Blitz, what's going on? Is Enchantress, is she dying?
No.
She's not dying?
Like she's got full HP.
Wait, but she got soulbound to like a Terrorblade, right?
Yeah. No, she's fine.
She's
just gonna
fine?
lock it off.
She's laughing. Unbelievable. S4, obviously, magnificent performance on the hero, but you gotta give props to that EG draft.
I'm sure there's going to be some people at home that are not too familiar with Enchantress that are like, did my computer just play things in slow motion?
Slow motion going on here. No,
What's
no.
wrong?
You're not buffering. You're operating at full speed, and so is EG.
Yeah, what a crazy game, Will. What do you make of that?
Oh, that game was... that was a stomp. That was like a stomp and a half, too. It was just every opportunity they had to go on Thompson, they absolutely ruined him. I think he even got solo killed once, right?
Yeah,
in the mid lane.
so.
That's really what started that ball, and I mean, they never let go. Sumail just kind of made his mark on this game.
They poked the beast.
They poked the
beast. They did. And I was thinking, you look back to that, the second clip you showed, that was when Seb pretty much showed his blink. He got those 2 kills. If he somehow got Enchantress in that, because they were all 3 clumped up, but he was like 2 seconds too late. Honestly, it could have changed a lot of things, but the fact Enchantress ran away and you're not killing her. It really, you just could not kill her that game.
Well, this game was decided pretty fast, and I think, Will, it was you that said before the series that Thompson, he loses you the lane, but wins you the game. Well, how did you say it? You said it way nicer.
Oh, I said he's probably the hero. He's probably the player that loses you. He loses his lane the most, but he's also the player that'll win you the game the most.
Yes.
Unfortunately, this time he only did one of the 2.
Yeah, and I mean, we haven't even talked about, right? 9-0 and 10 on Arteezy. It's a Terrorblade, right? He is just farming. He's doing his thing, but he knew when to go and he knew when not to. They backdoor through a tier 3, even when Anna was cutting creeps. He just made all the right plays, and I mean, Arteezy, everyone wants to win a TI, but this guy, right, has been favored to win so many TIs. You know it's in the back of his head even.
Oh, the hunger is showing for sure. And I love that they ran up the aggressive trialing as well. You know, it's a little bit of the mind games. You want to go head to head. You don't want to avoid fights. Sometimes that is what you try to do, but this game, they wanted to take it. They fought hard, and they made sure that they got in the action early on, which was a little difficult for OG to answer Tsunami.
This is a taste of OG's own medicine. This is what they like to do. Unless if it's a core IO, then oftentimes it will look like OG's losing at first, and they're like, oh, obviously this core IO is not going to work out. And then dude gets the Aghanim Scepter, Dominator, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, that's how it works. But this time, it was just pedal to the metal from minute 0.
Yeah, and it was the tree, and I'm really surprised they put it on 5. I wasn't the biggest fan of that. I was talking with Fogged as well, and we're just wondering, like, what does he do? It didn't feel like, they always want to defend their towers, do their thing, and they really could not defend their towers at all.
They could not at all. I didn't realize I was
laughing at Grant.
No, I laugh at my own mistakes. That's the best way of doing it, and I hope that's what OG is doing as well. And actually, we know that that's what they're doing, most of them.
Yeah.
Most.
You think? Even against those?
They have a professional esports psychologist.
That's true, but what if the psychologist saw this? He's like, oh my goodness.
I've never
destroyed him. We got to get out of here. Just crawl us. No,
You already said they needed that. Maybe she ran away because of that reason.
Maybe, yeah. It was just, I mean, it's tough. It really is hard to talk about that game because it was just that one side. Crit played perfectly middle, Sumail as well. They just didn't kill our team. If you don't kill a Terrorblade, you're going to lose a game. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. All right. You know what?
What?
I hope that OG is taking a break, taking a moment, you know, getting some time to reset. They are needing it, and I know a lot of you at home need it too. We have the perfect recipe for a reset. Hi, Casey. Hey, Slacks.
Hey, I'm really happy that you're not shoving me over in reaction to the vote like you did earlier.
I mean, I'll take any excuse I can to shove you, but I got too much excitement for the games on that last series, man. EG.
Oh, my God.
Everybody knows this team, right?
Right.
Well, they think they know them. Actually, you might not know the greatest North American squad ever, and that's why they got a little peek into their backstories. Take a look at this piece.
Esports teams always have drama. Sometimes it's real, but a lot of it is just the community making something out of nothing. For example, there was a lot of talk this year about Evil Geniuses not being a real North American team. Let me tell you something, boys. That couldn't be further from the truth.
Orders.
Howdy, y'all. Who's on Reddit on that 32? Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
I mean, sure, we're both North American, but the other guys are way more North American than us, especially Crit.
And you're back in the finals.
I guess that's what it took.
Shoulder check! Shoulder check! Shoulder check! Hey, sorry about that, your hoser. Hope you had fun in the grand finals, eh? Shoulder check! Shoulder check!
In a way, I think the boys are actually model North Americans. They even have that classic NA salt.
Alright, listen up. I'm so mad right now. Crit, off with your troll warlord. Sumail, I don't want to see no underlord middle. Gustav, if you ask for puck one more time, I swear to God, it's not TI3 anymore. Hey, I told you no more fucking cameras.
In the end, we're just some North American boys trying to make our way into this year's international. Together, united, one team under Dota.
North America.
Wow, man, what a great North American squad representing America out here at Shanghai. Did you know that kind of NA spirit they had?
I had no idea. That was quite the informative documentary you put together. Thank you.
Yes, indeed it was. But we have more actions to see today. We got an even better show because Sheaves and the boys, we got more Dota to be seeing.
We do indeed, and I cannot wait to see all the different scenarios used in all different kinds of clips and memes because there is so much potential. Thank you for that.
We have some work to do. We'll be right back.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I can't believe what we just watched, but I mean, you already knew that they were North Americans to the core.
Yeah, I did. You know, everyone on Reddit's going to always argue with me, but you know, being the ambassador of NA, I'd like to think I knew these guys were all NA from the start, and yeah, I mean, Crit, Canadian, I knew that as well, I guess. I don't know.
What was the guns? He opened the door and it was already shooting at the ground.
Well, yeah, you got to test some bullets out first.
He shot like 10 bullets out of a 6-shot revolver.
Well, Americans are pretty wasteful, don't worry.
Sure, the one thing that Tsunami looks at, 10 bullets out of
That's right.
That's revolver.
Can we say
that is the only
that's a
thing
draft panel kind of
that
thing.
cannot be true.
The rest of it made
Surely.
sense to me. Logically, it all added up.
Yeah,
but the bullet thing, there was some continuity errors there. I think.
Missed it for me.
Yeah. What do you you're sniggering quietly there, Will? What are you thinking?
Oh no, I was thinking I was rating like their acting. And,
who was the best?
The best was probably Crit.
Wait, they were acting?
I think Fly was the best.
Really?
Yeah. His Captain America speech.
Oh, the worst by far was Sam.
I mean, that was no surprise.
Orders.
No, I think he said orders.
Oh.
Because he was carrying burgers, not hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah, but
Hors d'oeuvres are filled eggs, right?
I think he was.
Yeah.
Hors d'oeuvres are filled eggs, aren't they?
Wait, is that a real
No,
thing?
hors
I
d'oeuvres
thought
are like
hors d'oeuvres were just,
appetizers.
They're appetizers.
Finger foods.
Yeah, and so obviously we Americans have burgers as an appetizer, and burgers as a meal, and burgers for dessert.
I saw some fries in there too.
True.
Perfect.
All right, hey, let's talk about these two teams because they're about to be, well, at the moment, EG is about to be in the top 3 of TI. We saw them in the top 3 last year. Top 3 is not enough. The performance that they showed here in this first game, though, definitely worthy of more than top 3. That looked so dominant.
Yeah, it really did, and I think the biggest thing it's going to come down to the draft because it felt like they got out-drafted from the beginning. I said some team's going to pick Earthspirit. I actually didn't expect it to be first pick. He just roamed on middle. He roamed bottom. He was actually in all 3 lanes. Like he played perfectly. So shout out to Bulba. You know, we all like to clown on him, but he did his job that game.
He's coached a team to TI championship before, which also was EG, by the way, and he might just do it again here at Tsunami.
Yeah, and the most important thing is getting this game 1 victory because OG have not been tested that much during this TI.
No.
During the group stage, they didn't drop very many games. As they've moved their way through the upper bracket, they have not dropped that many games. Being able to finally show that they bleed and show some vulnerability is a huge step for confidence for EG.
Yeah, and I think, you look at the group stage, I believe they had 2 or 3 losses. I don't remember, but only one of them was truly serious to me. It was the Vici Gaming loss, and I definitely
the other
think
one was like a
EG
Techies loss or something.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you have a lot to look at. It's like, okay, this is the one loss they truly had, and I'm sure they scoured all the replays, and, well, it worked.
Will, can OG reset?
Oh, yeah, for sure they can. And they want a TI. You know they're a mentally tough team. I feel like if any team's going to do it and they're able to like walk it off and have fun, it's going to be OG. You saw No-Tail like spamming voice lines till the very end.
Spamming his face literally on mid lane.
Yeah. Like, I think they're memeing it up too with like the faces.
All right.
That's like the first step, by the way, towards reconciliation. Like memeing.
Well, let's see how well they meme in the upcoming game because the teams are taking the stage once again. There you go. Arm in arm, shoulder to shoulder. They do look ready. They do look like they are reset and ready to go. Shake it off. Go.
Yeah, you love Taylor Swift, don't you, Blitz?
I do.
Well, I do hope that EG is also relaxed as they are 1 game up. That definitely takes some pressure off. You know what also takes pressure off? A nice, relaxing massage.
Hi, how are you? Thompson! Hey, wake up! Wake up!
Yeah, hello. Are we done here?
I know I always ask this of players, but I am fascinated by whether or not you guys feel stressed. Because this is what you do all the time.
Yeah, we take massages all the time. Yes.
The Dota playing.
I'm playing Dota isn't that stressful, but traveling, I hate it.
Why do you hate traveling?
I don't know, I just stress about stupid things.
Like what?
Like losing my phone or interviews, fucking stressful.
What can I do in interviews to make you feel less nervous?
I don't know. Players just sit home playing Dota and then suddenly they're in front of a camera. It's like, what the fuck is this?
But you're on camera while you play.
Yeah, but they're watching the game. They're watching us play. They're not watching us.
Yeah. What's the question you hate getting asked the most?
I don't have one.
Oh, really?
Sorry. Yes.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Who is the most likely person on your team to make a mistake?
That's unfair.
No.
That's a really shit question. I found it. It was easy.
How crucial is Anna to your roster? Because I know that you had to play without him for quite some time.
Yeah, we did. He's like a favorite my favorite player. Like, I'm a big fan of his, and Anna understands me, and I understand Anna, and it wasn't the case with other players. So for me, it's really nice to play with Anna.
Do you feel any extra pressure coming back as TI? Coming back as TI.
I know what you're trying to say. No, not really. I mean, we have had pretty average year. We just barely made it to TI.
Right.
And we're so happy that we made it to TI, and we'll see how we feel then. But right now, we're feeling good, I think.
What are you going to do after your Dota career ends someday?
Oh man, I'm gonna buy a house in northern Finland.
So you're just going to live a quiet life?
Yeah, that's the dream.
Fast forward 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Ring, ring, ring.
Yeah.
You pick up the phone, and it's me.
Oh shit.
Well, there goes the answer to my next question. Thompson, thanks for doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm raising my hand to ask a question. Yoo-hoo, Thompson, over here.
Yeah.
I was just wondering how you're planning on beating all the other teams at TI9.
You know, you destroy the throne and then they lose. Easy.
You destroy the throne and then they lose, or then you win. That is the goal. It seems pretty simple. Can they do that here in game 2? Because if they don't, they're going to go to the lower bracket. Haven't experienced that yet in a while. Let's find out what is going to happen in game 2 of EG OG. It is time for the draft.
OG versus Evil Geniuses. Game 2.
This is where the next match is going to be determined. We're about to start the draft in game 2 here. EG versus OG. What are you guys expecting to see in this one?
I think for EG, follow the same formula. I really like the way that Sin mentioned it at the end of the cast, how he loved the way they set up their lanes and they played super aggressive throughout the game. I think that's definitely a key factor for them going into this next one versus OG, because that just looked super good, right? They just took over the whole game because they kept making those aggressive plays.
Or pick stronger lane heroes. I was a real question mark when they last picked Invoker against the Lina too. And there's an Earth Spirit roaming. And the side lanes, they weren't that great too. The PA is pretty weak. 3-5 is pretty weak, so it was a kind of a question mark for me.
Ooh, it looks like we have same band so far, so this is always fun to see. Are they going to do something different? Are they going to stick with the same heroes? One thing I feel like I see if Enchantress does make it through is they pick heroes that actually can kill her.
Yes.
They pick magic nukers, that kind of a thing, but OG did themselves no favors at all, as Tsunami showed in the last segment. They didn't have ways to kill her, and as a result, all their early movements just were completely counteracted, and it made the stomp so much harder.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Fabi. Just pick some stronger lanes. I think Shadow Demon was ignored, right? That was one hero that made it through the entire draft without being touched because they opened up with the Grimstroke, so EG didn't feel like they had to go for it. They wanted the Crystal Maiden, so yeah, SD, one of the few series that we actually see it just wasn't touched.
Now, it was AA banned last game. I don't believe it was.
I think they banned ET.
Yes,
yeah,
you're
they
right.
banned ET.
So they're having some. They're baiting the Enchantress pick, I think.
Now they're also making sure that they can get themselves ET too, right? They're like, EG, you have to ban it, otherwise we get Alchemist.
Yeah.
Right? They're switching the formula up a little bit. So they're forced to ban that out because of it. So now OG can get that edge himself. Yep.
I mean, it's definitely more of a comfort pick for them. It's something they've been picking consistently for Seb in the off lane, and it's putting the strong hero in their hands.
Yeah, and like I said in the first game, Notaire seems like the only 5 that's really comfortable on the Enchantress.
And this right here already, you're talking about ways to kill Enchantress, right? Elder Titan, put a decent amount of magic damage, also a big amplification. Mirana, high magic damage if you are able to get on top, and good combos.
And another thing that Mirana's been really effective at so far this tournament is just like stomping games with really effective rotations and good disable setups, basically. One disable into a 3 to 5 second stun, that's almost always going to be a killed hero. And as long as they can fill out the rest of their lineup with a lot of other stun setups, EG might be able to just stomp the lanes kind of similar to last game.
Just going to go for their Earthshaker here. The way to disrupt like those type of combo plays. So surprised, yeah. Shadow Demon is just not going to be touched, not even going for the save, which you do see a lot of times versus like the Mirana.
Yeah, it's very rare actually that I feel like Mirana gets picked well SD still in the pool because it is such a good counter there. But they let it through.
Yep. It is a really good hero with the Enchantress. It covers the Enchantress' weaknesses, which is the lack of team fight. Sure, Enchantress does have a lot of damage, but it lacks lockdown and the big AoE control, which Earthshaker provides.
Can also potentially interrupt the Elder Titan combos. Possibly stunning Mirana at the right time could help a lot. Drop a fissure when she needs to throw her arrow, for example. Those kinds of things could be a solution as well.
It's really less likely, but I think it's pretty cool to see some Sumeru Mirana too, because I know he's a beast on their hero.
Yeah, right. Both drafts are kind of flexible right now at this point. Like you said, OG, they could be playing the Enchantress. They could move it around if they want to choose to do so. The ET is probably locked as like a 5 position, but we have seen Crit also play it. So 4/5s, Mirana also kind of flexible. So
it's probably a 5 ET Mirana for them.
That's what I would imagine, right? That's what they're thinking as well too, right? Banning out that Sand King, taking out that easy setup, also that high magic damage hero.
Yeah, that's true. And with Veil as well. If you pair ET with a common Veil builder, the amount of magic damage you're doing is massive, a lot more than even normal. So,
which is Enchantress's weakness. Enchantress is really fragile to magical damage.
And it takes out a team fighter too, right? Like the Sand King provides quite a bit, so that's why they're looking to ban that one out.
Ember Spirit getting banned by Evil Geniuses. Very good hero for jumping around the team fight. Also, pretty possible to avoid things like arrow setups sometimes, because if you have even a tiny fraction of a second where you aren't stunned, you can dodge arrows and dodge other abilities. So, would be a little bit of a headache for Elder Titan to defend against it.
Getting on top of these heroes can be pretty easy as an Ember Spirit too. Like Elder Titan, I play a lot of the hero. You just get jumped on instantly. You get rooted in the middle of your stomp animation. It messes with you. Mirana, same thing. You get rooted. You can't leap the whole time. It's a long duration lockdown. Frustrating hero to play against for sure if you do have an ET or Mirana.
Kunkka, the next ban, very common setup hero with Mirana as well. We saw a lot of teams successfully use that combo, just because it gives you the easiest setup ever.
I wonder what kind of damage hero EG is gonna pick. I assume like S4 is going to play some AoE magical damage control hero, which can kill the Enchantress.
What are you thinking, like a Tiny or something? Too early to tell?
Yeah, I think it's too early to tell. Tiny, I feel like Tiny's a bit too single target as well.
What about Tidehunter? Tidehunter was like first phase ban in the Vici LGD series earlier today, but we haven't seen either of these guys touch it yet. Do you think something like that would be useful here?
Tide is pretty cool. It can like stop the Earthshaker from getting his combos off with the Ravage, but I assume like if they do pick Tide, they need more damage. I don't think it's enough damage.
What about like a typical like mid laner turned off laner, like a Lesh or a Pugna, or Lesh banned of course, but
Lesh was
something like that would work.
But it was banned.
Yeah, it was a very common opening for a lot of teams to actually go like ET Lesh because you amplify your damage so much. But still need something else instead.
I think EG what about the the gyrocopter for EG if they want to go for that for RTZ,
I was thinking
right?
gyrocopter, but I don't know. I don't like the gyro versus Enchantress matchup. I think it can go both ways.
Yeah.
If gyro can get on top of Enchantress, sure, but Enchantress like by nature is a good hurricane pipe buyer. It can like shoot impetuses from very far. It can outrange the gyro, so sometimes it can go the other way around.
Yeah, I've seen kind of like it looks like teams think the exact same way, right? We've seen some teams like they pick the gyro into the Enchantress, and other teams they pick the Enchantress versus the gyro. Just yeah, it's fun. It's fun to see those type of back and forths from teams. So we get an Ogre.
Yeah, very high health, very high armor, tanky hero, can be a 3.
Potential for high magic damage.
Yeah, with especially with ET Zora.
So the downside that the part that it doesn't fit of what you want in Febby is not that much AoE damage basically. So you can't push out lanes very well, but you can just stay in your lane, live in it, not be harassed out of it, and continue to pressure that way. That's one option for the hero. And then later on, join the team fights.
Yeah, it's a natural pipe builder too, so Earthshaker is not going to have as much impact.
How do you feel about that pick?
I was thinking Void for EG might have been good for the AoE control and especially with the ET. But yeah, OG picks Void. It's okay because Enchantress provides damage. Every time you have Void, you want damage in your Chrono. And I think Enchantress is the damage.
I feel like it might have been a bit of a steal pick, right?
Yeah,
Maybe if EG was going to look for it, because it's, I mean, with the ET and Mirana, it's amazing. So that does kind of look like they just kind of robbed that one away if EG was looking to go for that type of hero.
Yeah, because that's definitely one of the issues with the Mirana pick right now is that there just aren't a ton of arrow setups. Obviously, Stomp is amazing, but in the laning stage, it's going to be a little bit harder. Void also even good against that. If they're lacking disables, Ogre's got to get close range to land his stun. ET's got to land this obvious Stomp that Void can easily time walk. So right now, Mirana's not looking like the best 4, actually.
Yeah, they might. I mean, they still could move it right now. They have Bloodlust as well. They're keeping themselves open to switching it up still on the side of EG.
That's true.
Like Febby was saying, right? Like Sumail, he loves playing as Mirana sometimes, and we have seen a couple core Miranas. We have seen a couple of them in the mid lane. From I know Vici played it a couple of times too. They're gonna take the gyro.
Yeah, it's something that they need. Some AoE, some magical damage.
Gyro feels a little bit iffy against Chronosphere plus Enchantress to me, though, because I mean he traditionally does get a lot of health, and yes, maybe he'll buy Butterfly at some point, but getting Chronosphere and not having too many saves on the back line might be really scary for him.
He's my favorite pairing, though, with Elder Titan. Favorite carry pairing, because you're a mix. You're not just physical damage, you're very high magical damage, so you work really well, and it provides you extra team fight, which I think that they, the Ogre might have made them lack a little bit there.
Yeah, it's a combo that EG is very familiar with. We've been seeing it a couple of times in the group stages too, the Gyro ET.
Ooh, Tiny. That looks like it's a very high potential for Thompson's hero. He's been super dominant actually on the hero when I saw him playing it for the most part. Just being able to constantly run around and just wreak havoc on the map. Especially versus the squishies. Gyrocopter can tend to be a little bit squishy sometimes.
Yeah,
you do get off to a good start.
With the Axe Spear too, I think it like just inputs insane amount of damage, and I think it can be a cool new combo, the Void plus Tiny with the Tiny Axe.
That's true. I like that.
Yeah.
It's really good with Void. It helps so much. I think Maneski was running that earlier. The Chrono would come out, and then you do the tiny tree toss, you're getting like 6, 7, 8 trees.
Yeah, it looked like a really good combo.
Was that the same thing that, did Secret have that too? With the Void and the Tiny? I think mid one rushed Axe that game.
Yepstar stole Chronosphere a few times, so probably.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of Chronospheres in those games.
Oh yeah, you're right actually, that's a good point. Because I remember he skipped the Echo Saber. He went Echo Saber after, but he went straight Axe, which was interesting to me, because usually it's like, you want your Echo because you apply the slow, but if you have something like that huge lockdown, you don't need the extra slow. You're going to be having that big damage pump into it, so that's actually pretty neat.
I'm expecting EG to throw Gyro in the mid lane myself, just because Sumail's typically the guy that plays it on their team. I mean, if you do land an arrow mid, even if there isn't a setup, and sometimes there can be with Homing Missile, it's a good hero for crossing the river and potentially getting solo kills if the stun's long enough. I don't know if it's going to be super viable against Tiny, because Tiny's health is pretty high, but
I feel like you won't get many last hits in that lane, though, if you're mid versus a Tiny.
That's true.
You can use the missile to zone him every now and then, but the base damage advantage is pretty high. But still flexible, right? They still can choose to move it around, depending on which matchup they do want to have.
I mean, one bright side is they can probably rune control maybe a little bit better with the Mirana, and the Gyro's a lot faster, so running him down, maybe lower chance of Gyro dying. Last bans here, Batrider again being banned towards OG. They are kind of lacking their 5-position hero. And then OD being banned against EG, which would have been another great hero for setting up arrows. If they throw OD in the mid lane, especially against a melee like Tiny, super easy to banish and get guaranteed arrows. So that would have been a pretty easy way for Thompson to lose his lane.
Yeah, a lot of the Conquer OD bans, when there's early Mirana picks, it's like you kind of just have to cover your bases.
Yeah. So what are they going to grab for their last hero? OG could play the Tiny as a 4. They could put the Enchantress on a 5. That could leave Thompson up to grabbing an entirely new hero here if they really want to, but
there's so many cool things that OG can do right now. They can put 5 Enchantress, mid Tiny, and like pick a new 4 hero for Jerax. Phoenix looks okay. Even if there's a Mirana on the other team, you have Void.
It feels, I think it sounds okay, but I just feel like they're lacking easy disables and gank stuff that isn't team fight, like ultimate base. It's like Chronosphere, maybe like Blink Earthshaker or Blink Tiny, but I feel like they need something reliable maybe.
They're gonna go with Oracle.
It's, okay.
I think it's a good Fate's Edict game. There's a lot of magical damage coming out of Evil Geniuses right now. Right now, all their damage is magical damage, and Oracle's second spare is just going to negate a lot of that damage.
And they can use Oracle's ultimate to just purge off a stun. If the Faces Void gets stunned at a crucial moment, Tiny gets stunned at a crucial moment, remove that, let him take a team fight. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was thinking Void might need a stun, might need a save because there's a lot of lockdown from Evil Geniuses, and there was no save from OG until that Oracle pick, so they could have bursted the Void down before the team fight started.
Is it going to be strong enough to lane against an Ogre though? Like if that's an offlane Ogre, he's gonna have to slap that guy a lot to get killed.
They're just gonna go the Terrorblade again. It worked last time for them.
But now there's an Enchantress on the other side
More
of
things, yeah.
So I don't know. I think this Enchantress versus TV matchup is pretty hard for the TV.
It should be a lot of damage. If TB is disabled, they should be able to combo him potentially.
And Enchantress can just chase down the TV and just take away the illusions, crippling his farm. So.
What about the other way around? Reflection against the OG heroes. Do the Reflections get bashes? Not sure. Anyways, that is the draft for game number 2 here, EG versus OG. Let's send it over for an interview with Sakshika.
All right, tell me how you're feeling about this draft and how would you rate it compared to what you did in game 1?
I think both games were pretty fine draft-wise. Here, I think we got a better draft than them, so I'm feeling really confident. Yeah.
What did you say to your team to help them reset heading into this game?
I mean, we are ready for this. We know EG is a great team. We are ready to go 3 games, so yeah. I just tell them to keep going, do our best, and yeah, we'll see.
All right, still confident. I love it.
Yes.
Best of luck. We'll talk to you soon. Bye. Back to you guys.
And we really are looking for that third game to repeat history from last TI. It was semi-final 2 that these teams met up. Of course, then it was OG who 2-1 down EG. What can happen this time around? They're confident. They're confident with the draft this time around, Sin.
There's a couple of things that can happen.
Things working.
EG could win this game, then they're 2-0. OG could win this game, then they're 1-1.
Wow.
And then for the third game, would you believe it, there's also 2 possible outcomes in that game. So that would be, if you do like a flowchart of this, it's really complicated, but yeah, you'll figure it out eventually. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about this game, specifically the Enchantress pick that they were talking a little bit about on the draft panel, because I think the logic that EG are applying this game that makes them pick the Terrorblade again is they want a carry that, first of all, that farms really well when it's given space. EG's heroes are really good at fighting early on outside of RTZ's hero. And sure, Enchantress has a good matchup against Terrorblade in the lane, but Terrorblade isn't going to lane. He's going to play there until he's level 4 or 5. When it seems like Enchantress is starting to get scary, it's going to retreat to the jungle. And if Enchantress starts hunting Terrorblade in the enemy jungle, she can get ganked by Gyro from mid. That's the whole idea here. He can go deep into the jungle, he can play the opposite jungle as well. Probably not the Radiant one, but you know what I mean. Around the triangle with Terrorblade, and have a good time. For OG, however, you have very big AoE spells and cooldowns. And if they don't connect on the Terrorblade, I just see his fights being relatively free. Like, what's actually killing this Terrorblade in this game? They don't have heavy single target burst outside of Enchantress. Tiny's okay for a while.
Yeah.
But then Tiny's damage late game is physical.
What happens if you can't kill him before he can sunder?
Yeah, that's always a problem.
Yeah, it's like that's your burst damage from the Tiny, which starts to wear off after a while. But they do have really great combinations. Maybe this is the reason why Sakshika just feels so confident. Like, we always look for the thing that works with a Chrono. Long are the days that we just do this with the Skywrath Mage. Now we toss trees. You have Topson who can do insane amounts of damage. You've got Enchantress who can make the most of that control area too, with the impetus she can throw out. Like, there's just a lot of things that they can work with.
But I think there's something very clear in what you're saying too, is the absolute majority of the damage we're talking about is physical or physical based. Enchantress hits are physical attacks. You can get evasion against it as Terrorblade. The tree throw is physical. You get a lot of armor in Terrorblade naturally, and Void is more or less 100% physical damage too. So I think for the name of the game for OG here is play high tempo. I don't think trading farm and playing a slow game here is going to favor them in the long run. You're playing against Elder Titan late game, one of the stronger supports with the aura for a lot of damage, and of course, let's not forget the mid hero for EG also scales. It's a gyrocopter. They have plenty of in the way of late game with Bloodlust too.
And it's been one of the most popular heroes of TI9. We get our lanes up, so EG running the safe lane, the ET and the Terrorblade together.
No-tail.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a lot of damage onto No-tail. Trying to back himself up. The Oracle has no real save. He went Fortune in to begin with. But into the trees, only Tangos to bring his life back up again. And S4 copping the same kind of damage from Ana.
No-tail used the Fortune's end to secure a range creep, and S4 immediately went for the Fire Blast into arrow combination with crit. Something I don't remember who on the panel mentioned this, that OG should probably look to get better lanes this time around. They're playing Oracle Void. This is also not a very strong lane, so once again they're running the risk of getting pressured pretty hard in this Ana lane. Their mid lane is good though. Tiny is just a flat-out strong laner in general, and their other lane, Enchantress Shaker, is very strong.
Speaking of Enchantress Shaker, they're really getting up in face of Arteezy. Fly, he did the pull. That's why they're underneath the tower. Seb trying to get as much damage in as possible, but Arteezy, they're trying to bait him into using the Metamorphosis. They've even fissure blocked him out from potentially getting some kills on creeps, one of them including the range creep, and he still refused to use it. He's been holding it back. Another small thing is also the ward vision. Fly, he actually put a sentry ward down, which is able to block the camp up on the top, so there's no pull for OG to work with, and that sentry ward is actually barely out of range of the observer ward that's watching the stacking from Fly. So just a fun vision game up on the north.
It's a pretty unusual play for Elder Titans to block a camp like this, but he's too scared of the Enchantress pressure with the Enchant spell, and for good reason. If Seb gets like a Satyr or a Centaur, there's play combos that could give a kill on the Arteezy Terrorblade, so this way he keeps him nice and safe.
Metamorphosis has now finally been burned from Arteezy. It took until level 3, and he's got 2 points up in the Conjure image. So 7 Jirax just holding back for the moment. Crit's waiting for the next attack. He's waiting for Sumail's homing missile to come while at bottom lane S4 and No-tail held him there. There's stick charges from S4. He'll get back underneath the tower.
Close call.
And has managed to at least make Crit feel like he has to move off the lane. He found the illusion rune.
He's coming in with a salve as well, so S4 will be back in fighting shape, and No-tail's out of mana. He has no resources left, so this lane now plays itself for EG. They might even get the kill here if they play it right.
Be fast about it. They're focusing down on Ana. He can always just time walk this off, and he's got those 4 stick charges. No-tail's gone bush, Crit. S4, here comes your level 2 Fire Blast out, while up on top he just get away, but it's No-tail stunned up into the tree line. They have the damage and they have the vision, and Ana actually being given the life from No-tail. That's all he could do at the end of this. There's something to make Ana's lane work.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, he's not looking too hot down here right now. Both safe laners being punished. The Terrorblade's not having a free time. The Void is not having a free time. And that's where there's just a fundamental difference in these two carries. If Terrorblade's laning stage is bad, he's going to go jungle level 4. What's Void going to do? He has to lane. He's stuck down here. And he's playing with an Oracle who now hit level 3, so No-tail is a lot stronger now than before with the 2 points in Purifying Flames. There is some kill potential.
Of how Sumail was inching for the rune, he doesn't get it. He was really hoping he would. It says a haste rune for Crit. 1/3 of his HP is up and running, but he's hoping to probably get the arrow against Topson if Sumail can just get a good homing missile off. But then again, Topson, he's saying run on top of Sumail with his own damage.
And Topson is playing this lane as expected. He's winning against Sumail. This is a very tiny favorite matchup in isolation early on. Just has way better base damage like was mentioned on the panel. But Sumail is still... He's still doing all right. Like he's getting denied for sure, which is the problem. Oh, Topson's going to go for some damage here. Yep. I don't know about that, Topson. That's cutting it pretty close.
Sumail might just have the damage underneath the tower. Topson makes a break for the tree line. Sumail can't actually reach him. Topson doesn't have a mana for a toss away, but he's got Shrine in 10 seconds.
Yeah,
that'll work.
We'll get a bounty rune as well, unless Fly.
He's coming over.
There's actually no mana on the Tiny.
Jirax has to stun him. This will be mana on the Tiny now. Gets 3 bottle rune charges up. So Fly, they start with the Avalanche. Seb's moved over as well. Fly, he can get 1 punch in. He ain't no one-punch man.
He very clearly placed the No-tail flag. Seb was staring him in the eyes when he died. Oh, man.
Get in their minds. That's what OG likes to do.
Yeah, that's one thing you can't mute. You can't remove the flags.
Yeah, see, OG understand this. They just get around it. Ana and S4 really going hammer and tongs the bottom lane. No-tail will throw out the Fortune's end. Just Giving S4 something to think about, but S4 has got 900 HP. You're not getting through this Ogre.
It purges Bloodlust though. It's a minor annoyance.
TC's got Metamorphosis again. No pressure into that top tower. Remember, there's no Treant Protector in this game, but not a single point of damage has been done to that tier 1 tower on top. Crit's trying to leap himself away. I see Topson moving over. He's already used his combination. The Observe Ward gives them all the information they need. Topson, 2 seconds till Toss is off cooldown. Crit leaps up a little bit further out. Now goes for a short range arrow. He doesn't have another leap available. Topson has both Avalanche and Toss available. Yeah.
Topson and he's dead. Tossin.
Nicely done, Tossin. Thanks, Tossin.
Uh-oh, Arteezy's in trouble too.
Yeah, he's dead. Jirak's able to get the double stun. Fly couldn't do anything to help him out. The stomp was already used. Now Fly's moving into the tree lines. He'll go for another stomp, but Jirak just waits it out perfectly. This is that crisper kind of play you're expecting to come in from OG. They play their stun timings right, they get the chains right, and Anna gets the lead to body block S4 in the trees. You can slow him down once again. No-tell. The never-ending fortunes end over towards S4. The stun's at least on Faceless Void, so Anna won't keep this pressure up.
He's getting good farm though on the Void now. The start was a bit tough, he got pressured, but No-Tail brought extra regen. Crit was roaming a little bit on the Mirana, which gave Ana more space, and now they might even kill S4 here.
Yeah, feeling very stranded with no Mirana to stay with him. The Priestess of the Moon is currently absent from the throne. S4, another nuke from Ana. Actually, a nuke from No-Tail, and a bash from Ana will do the work.
Seb top.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Seb, he's low on life. The homing missile will come in and finish the job. Jirax tried to help out.
Topson ran down Arteezy all the way to the tier 3 and killed him.
Really?
So this dynamic is really interesting because the Enchantress will not be chasing him, but the Tiny is one of those heroes that can quickly push in the mid lane and start making a move for the enemy jungle. And he can solo kill Terrorblade this early on. Terrorblade has no health.
He's also got no net worth. Just to throw up the net worth graph, you see him, he's 4th from the bottom, not even 2,000 to this Terrorblade's name. ES currently has more net worth on the support Jirax.
Topson does not get the rune yet. It's bottom. He will probably try to run down and take this region after pushing out mid. He knows it's there and that there's nobody going to take it right now.
And Arteezy's going to send the illusion to deny it.
Yeah, and he sent his hero into the other side of the jungle. But now he's going to maybe get smoked out. Oh, if he dies again.
Bad.
This is so good scan from Dire. They realize it's happening.
They just follow the illusion. They put down the protection. Arteezy, he needs space. He needs time. And Topson doesn't want to give him anything. They leave an Observe Ward back behind the tier 2 tower. Jirax is waiting on the hill. Arteezy beset upon on all sides. The courier's coming out to deliver the raid band. Hey guys, I think I know where he is. He's in the trees, but you'll lose the Enchantress while all that's going on. Crit's able to get him. Well, OG are looking the other way.
Seb got greedy. And Dofra and...
Oh, Topson found him. Finally, they found him. Drop the nukes, drop the hammer. Arteezy. They want to stay on top of him.
He's not playing Dota right now.
Fly's also in trouble in the back lines. Jirax chased him into the trees. That top fight took its toll. Jirax just needs to hit him once, and Fly, Jukin, keep moving around the rock walls, around the trees, but Jirax has towed him. It has the reach, while Anna, he has the extra life. He's getting the hit time lock over on S4. They'll toss him down, and they have the damage between the two cores.
It's looking spicy. It is looking spicy for OG right now. That is true. Their laning stage, I was skeptical in the start, especially about this bottom lane, but things are looking great right now, mainly because they're actually just...
Put the flag down, build a wall, and Arteezy can't cross the top lane. Seb's in real trouble in the middle of the call down. The attendants will not help him. The homing missile from Samel will wipe that smile off his face while Fly under the tier 2 tower. Jirax and Topson once again comboing together. They're the Smash Brothers right now. S4 as well as Arteezy, the TP out, the stun, space created, and Jirax will also leave.
OG are playing really, really good Dota right now.
And now the runes as well.
They have the perfect read on what they need to do in the game with this Tiny. I think Topson is having huge game impact right now. Even if he doesn't kill Arteezy, he's just ruining his game.
Look what he's doing. Anna has a double damage rune. He just wants to go onto Arteezy, but the Dire Observer Ward, it scattered out the movement. So with the DD rune, he won't get the leap into Chronosphere that Anna was probably looking for.
We've been talking a lot about Arteezy having a hard game, but as far as EG goes, their other two cores are not looking too shabby. Gyrocopter almost top net worth. Ogre is ahead of the Enchantress.
Here we go again. Toss me! Don't tell the elf.
The worst thing, I mean, can you even blame him? They've like smoked him 2 or 3 times, and they have deep wards. You just keep running him down, and now Thompson.
This is his 6th kill. He's taken 50% of the kills for OG. Thompson. How fast can this guy be enabled? Phase boots up, moves through the trees. Another fissure block. Jirax. This is why on support Yeti is one of the greatest. And Anna's taking the tier 1 tower to boot. Keep him out of lane. The Shadows will take EG. But what can the Shadows grant them? The Observer Ward, Thompson, he actually de-wards it. He had the Radiant Sentry there. So now EG's even lost the vision. And they've got Jirax right behind him. They're ready to fight on bottom lane. The Radiant Sentry. It won't even matter. They've waited out the time. The Observe Ward. Did it see? It sees Samel for a half moment as well as S4. Avalanche is out. The fissure from Jirax. Over on 2. Call down will arrive. Thompson. They're finally going to end the spree. It all goes to Vale.
That's a lot of gold.
Back up the tier 1 tower. It is indeed. And that's the comeback mechanic.
600 gold, and now he's top net worth. And they're going to immediately smoke again. OG have no vision here, so they don't know this is happening. This is not the easiest smoke to predict, but if they want to cross the entire map, maybe it will be predicted. Okay, the top rune, Invis rune, they're not going to grab this.
I think they're looking for Anna, but Jirax actually broke the smoke. He's already TPing over towards the shrine. He understands that something shady's happening.
Jirax saw the rune get taken here. I think this might blow this gank from OG that S4 went and grabbed this rune. No, Anna.
He's still under obs.
Oh, he's going to...
And now he's going to time walk into S4's bodycast down, combining with the arrow, put him to sleep as well. Starfall finishes the job from Crit.
Jirax pinged it out. He said the rune's gone. And all of EG's heroes were missing, but Anna still stuck around to farm that camp. A bit greedy.
Probably felt he was safe for having the Observe Ward in the lane, but man, as you said, like they would smoke up from the bottom lane and not just run directly at him.
And that's space for Arteezy. They've re-established some control in this top area, so Terrorblade gets to play a little bit now. He's still way behind par, of course, on this hero, but slowly recovering, and OG, they're going to keep up the pressure. They will keep playing fast. They have the same read that playing this slow and letting EG get space is not the way to go.
It's a great Observe Ward down. EG, this is coming, a quick leap away from Crit, will create space. Ogre now going to go for his own son. Great fissure coming in from Jirax, actually trying to stop the arrow, and maybe a little bit too late. The call down, it's great from Smell, playing from inside the trees with a flack and a damage. Jirax has to run up high. Thompson, he'll have to save from Notel. Jirax won't be so lucky, neither will S4. Both dying over on the opposite sides of the lane, and Thompson finally now back up to full health, just tosses away the gyrocopter. Arteezy has arrived, but up against Seb. It's not the hero he wants to fight. But as EG do this chase, the Dire Observer Ward that OG ran out under is what helped them set up for this fight. But they're not finding anything else. 13-minute, 14-minute hand of Midas in here from Anna. Meanwhile, on the northern side of the lane.
He was just, again, not involved. He's just farming. Farming. Keeps ramping up. A lot of the times, you would like your Void to at least use the chrono when it's off cooldown, and then you can go back to farming, but not even that.
Jirax, Fisher, actually holds the mail up on the high ground with the ET splitter. Notel has no save to this at all. Meanwhile, Anna, does he want to go for a solo kill on Arteezy? He's got no damage. He actually has nothing. Moonlight Shadow's been burnt, so they can all just walk away.
Oh, they're going to walk into Thompson.
Oh, with the avalanche, and now Anna, time for a chrono. He'll catch free for the Fisher. They're all caught on the other side, so Anna's only got one choice, is to kill off Crit. Seb actually came in from the side, looking for his own damage, and Jirax tossed in the Echo. He'll finish off S4. Seb won't actually die. The one shot just means the homing missile doesn't find the kill. Anna, time walk, repairs the damage, but stays on the front line, trying to fight. They've lost Seb, they've lost Jirax. Another controller from two of them together. Avalanche in toss, fly. He's got enough life to survive. The creep never hit the deck. But Thompson's not done. You know he's never done.
Arcane rune.
They're running for it. Up on, well, yep, nope. Arteezy never got close enough to the tier 1 tower to attack. Thompson's actually wrapping around the side, but all he'll find is illusions. Finally, that top tower takes some damage. But they're here for the bounties, they're here for the money.
And now Arteezy is catching up to Void. Would you believe it? He was so far behind, but this last sequence from EG is massive. They defend their tower. Yeah, they have win probability 2-1. It's a good Terrorblade game. What can I say? They've been shutting him down as hard as they could, but one misstep, one overextension, and that Fissure chrono play, it just failed. They were just not in the right position with their heroes. heroes. Seb, is he just gonna... Okay, he's gonna get arrowed, but not get comboed down. They will get the deny on this mid tower most likely.
It's a fantastic observer and sentry down from EG. They actually saw Thompson coming in with the blink dagger, so the reveal was actually found by the observer ward. But you do have this double jump, and this feels like a way that OG can just battle those 2-to-1 odds.
We need to see a lot more action out of Thompson. I think he's playing an integral role right now in the game. His one overextension, second overextension, he got saved by OG, by N0tail, but you've got to be on your toes. Sitting back is not the play right now still.
But it still feels like he's waiting for Ana to be ready. Like, yeah, you got to be fighting, you got to be looking for kills, but how long until Ana will actually come into these fights? How long until they look for the combination arrow? Thompson's in the trees, he's fine.
Well, got rid of the siege creep, just saving some HP on the tower.
T-Rex is going to get his blink dagger on bottom lane as well.
They want to kill Sumail. He's such a huge kill. He's 7-0. They know this kill streak is extremely valuable, and he's going to buy. But
wait for it.
Feel confident.
You've got crit right behind Ana. Moonlight Shadow instantly burned. The second Thompson jumped out of the tree lines, they went for it and crit. He's stalking him into the tree. The TP begins. Oh! Wide ball!
Didn't you see him blink? Oh, he thought he quelling through?
Uh-huh.
Well, he doesn't have a quelling blink. Oh, I don't know what that was. Alright. Probably, yeah, he overthought it perhaps, or he thought the blink dagger was still ready. Whatever it was, he got out mid lane. We're gonna have a sleep, but they're not gonna be able to combo.
2 point Nature's Intendants and 3 points Untouchable. Seb's gonna stick around and attempt to denial? Fly? I like that from Seb. He waited it out and Fly. He's gonna get punished. Looking for that denial. S4 gonna go for his own son onto Thompson, but the fissure is there from Jirax. But they can't keep the pressure up just yet. The call down from Sumail, creating more space for the Ogre. Seb's willing to run into it, but for how long? And now the toss, Tiny. Pulling back S4, arrow flies forward, it hits on the enchant, he's protected, and Thompson, he'll actually have the extra life through the false promise. The flag cannon from Sumail, as much damage as he can, they'll stun him up, and now, maybe with the impetus, they have enough damage. Thompson, he just missed the toss back, and the extra stun for Jirax, he'll bring in his blink dagger, he'll get the echo set, damage, they kill, still can't kill off Sumail, we're about to be split in twine, pulling back Thompson, snapping down Seb, they're slow for the moment, Ana, he'll get the chrono, it's over on S4, that's how they began this, Thompson's keeping crit out this fight, Jirax can't get it close enough, finally, they bring down the Ogre, but it costs so much.
Oh, they're spellcasting, they can't be happy with that. OG. Thompson blinks and tries to get the toss on Gyro, doesn't get it, second attempt, he tosses out the Shaker. I think. Wasn't that what he did? I think that's what he did. That was really chaotic, but it looked like he tossed out the Shaker.
We can look at it again in a second. He's looking for another jump. Avalanche toss combination combining with a double damage rune. Thompson able just to get the kill onto Fly. He gets something back here, but yeah, having another look at that fight and seeing the series of events, it definitely feels like such a hard run for OG, but hey. They were down to 33% win odds, right? It's going to be hard no matter what.
They climbed up a bit. It's looking better and spicy. Crit will, however, be getting the Spirit Vessel now. It's going to help them have options. So here you go. There's the Enchant Echo combo. There it is. He tosses him out. They both get slept. The splitter comes down the middle. Fortunately for OG, Terrorblade is not useful right now when it comes to fighting, so they don't get punished harder than that because it's only the 4 heroes, but more space for Arteezy. He is still gaining in this game, and Sumail staying alive is really, really big for them. He's such a valuable kill. They get the Ogre, it's something, but he's actually lower net worth than his Mirana now. S4 still aiming for a 20-minute Midas.
Oh, they're so close, they can smell it. Sumail wants the kill on bottom lane. It was 9 time, and that's why they didn't see N0tail. The protection is there, and he'll have to use his own ultimate, the false promise, trying to escape from this illusion. He's not getting the time to actually heal up in the tree line.
Jirax?
We'll be fine anyway. Yeah.
Looked like Crit might want to try to chase him there. Oh, Sumail's going to see him.
Hey, no, there's a tree, man. There's a tree.
He didn't see him.
Oh, now he'll see him.
Told you he was going to see him.
The blink dagger's off cooldown. He'll blink over, but hey, Crit's over here. And so is N0tail. Sumail, if he wants to try and chase this, there's a lot of help, but Seb hit by that long stun duration of crits. Saw it coming, but still wanted to play catch.
Send a lot of defensive heroes here to keep Shaker safe. They do manage. But that's about all to come out from that.
This has to be the slowest Midas for an Ogre I've seen.
It's very slow. Oh, RTZ, this will be a huge kill for Thompson.
He would love it. Avalanche, toss, he's
That's
got a
not
lot of
enough.
damage, but not enough.
Oh no, that's even worse.
The leg away. Thompson's down for the count.
RTZ knew his limits. You saw Thompson wasn't completely convinced if he could kill him, so he started hitting him first before going for the Avatos combo to get him low enough. But even then, it was still not enough. RTZ with the strength.
Oh, Seb! Tanking for the team! Trying to create space for Jirac, but they'll both still die together.
Oh, that's so bad news for them. Arteezy got the kill on Thompson. That's another 425 gold. He almost has BKB now. These 2 kills in mid lane, Sumail. They're progressing so well in the game, and all of this while, again, Chrono is ready. How many Chronos have they used this game? Like 1? 2?
Yeah,
2?
1, 2, 2. I got
Maybe 2.
Mid lane and mid lane north of Roshan, I think was the 2 I remember.
This is a 21-minute game where Ana actually had a pretty good laning stage. We thought it was going to be harder than it was, and I think OG kind of need him if they make moves. The logic that they're playing the Void with just staying out of fights and farming a lot, he is a hard carry, but you have to consider what you're giving away by doing this. This is the time that your lineup is supposed to peak, where you're the ones who are supposed to make the moves. And I'm fine with him AFK farming when Chrono's on cooldown. Absolutely. I don't think he should be looking for fights with time dilation and only that and the time walk, but yeah, his team needs him right now.
Meanwhile, EG continues to farm. Sumail's got Aghanim Scepter, the Maelstrom's coming out in the courier. A full BKB has now arrived for the Terrorblade. Seb trying to go on to S4. That hand of Midas, well, at least he got it off before he died, but S4 is down once again. Moonlight Shadow from EG did not arrive in time. And Thompson just once more, walking up blindly uphill. Does Sumail be ready to fight? This courier still hasn't brought his item to him, but they won't care. Thompson, Avalanche, Thompson's getting so much damage. Help is there from Notel. Thompson just needs to get the hell out of the air. And now maybe they can Chrono. They got so much damage. The control will actually hold in the ES, but you won't care if you've got the kill first. Not easy. Then to crit. Time dilate. Sumail's got no movement speed. 4 heroes from EG topple like dominoes.
There we go. That's the big fight from OG that they were waiting for. Awesome echo from Jerax, and you just see the follow through. Void was involved this time, gets an easy double kill with the Chrono, and Seb ends the streak of the Gyro, getting 800 gold, closing in on his BKB. And Arteezy had BKB there. He just didn't get it off.
Yep.
He got surprised by the stuns, got blown up. All that magic damage from the Shaker currently is enough. Later on it will be harder, but for now it gets the job done.
Probably thought he had the full advantage, and this is danger zone for EG. The items will start to roll in. He said, like, you look towards the BKB for the Enchantress, but I'm looking towards the Aghanim Scepter of Thompson. What happens when this Chrono starts to be amplified more than just Anand's Mjolnir attack? He's going for his own BKB too.
Yep.
Jirax will get a 4-star. Notel is looking for earn charges. Next items on the wish list, but EG just want to kill them all. They'll smoke up all together.
No echo. This is the time to take a good fight. They have Metamorphosis as well. They might just force Roche.
They're going to go Roshan. Do they break the smoke though? Notel's just a little bit too far away, so they slip inside the pit. And OG's been checking for a while.
Oh man, they die so fast.
Roshan's at 50%.
Side gunner.
EG Spirit's down, is walking out. That may be enough from Seb, but it's already done. EG under the cover of the Moonlight Shadow will walk out of the Roche pit with the Aghanim Scepter. Aegis the Immortal Gyrocopter ready to fight.
That's a great play call. Alright, OG, you've got a good team fight with your ultimates. Now we're going to get something for free. And I think OG, if they knew that this Roche was happening, I don't even know if they would have come there. I think that fight is extremely hard to take. You're fighting against Elder Titan in the pit. There's a Mirana that can arrow you from all angles, and you don't have your big spells to kill the Terrorblade with.
So now EG have to smoke and go again. That's kind of like their choice. But I'm not seeing a smoke on anyone from EG.
I think they want to chill until Terrorblade has meta again. Oh, Terrorblade's getting jumped.
That's not what they want. Up and the arrow flies forward. It does actually control.
I got Thunder off.
He's gonna be free. Thunder is out. Notel's still offering that protection for the Tiny. The ET Stomp is out, and there's nothing much he can do. Tiny just has to sleep through this battle, and he'll snap down as the protection is now falling off. EG moved from one target to the next. Seb can't do much here, but Ana, he can. Chrono's off cooldown. He's beating the crap out of the Ogre. That's a lot of crap to get. Space created. The stun won't last long enough. Ana Gone Disco with the sparkly shields, able just to bounce it off with a proc to get the kill on S4.
Terribly couldn't rejoin. And I think OG, all things considered there, with the kill failing to begin with, getting Sunder off on the Terrorblade, they'll take that 1-for-1 trade. That could have got way worse.
And still having Echo, still having Chrono, and again, off the Jirax. He's ready to jump! Hit the fly! He put him to sleep! Sumail will claim the double kill! Annabelle out the bait! But Jirax was not ready for those Z's!
So much damage, and that time there was no Oracle save. Didn't have the false promise, it was on cooldown, and Ana farmed up aggressively and got punished. EG are fast. They're really quick to exploit openings in this game. And while their lead might not be that big in terms of the net worth, you have this feeling that the game plan is just progressing nicely from these extra little picks they find here and there. The Terrorblade's starting to get some more health. Sanjin Yasha completed now on Arteezy.
He's got to farm and get the hell out of here. Blinks into the tree, starts his TP. They're ping exactly where he is, but no one can reach him. I'm loving this bottle swap over. Yeah, give him the arcane, get the push going.
Yep, meta ready in 5, so... You imagine, they're still looking for that Tiny. They really didn't think he had a TP.
Fun item for the Ogre. No auras for this Ogre. Blink, Dagger, Hand of Midas. And fly. Yeah, give it some scream. Anna, alright, yep, that happened.
I've seen that look on someone's face before. It's the, oh, fuck face.
Didn't seem to give that many Fs.
Nope.
It's like, we'll just get back to it again, right? Like, hey, next combo, that's the way to go.
OG's spirit has been seemingly unbreakable. But if this continues, they might lose a series 2-0, and then we'll see how unbreakable it will be in the lower bracket. But game, they need to look for a fight. They have all their spells. Chrono's up. Tiny combo's up. Unless they want to wait for another key item. Oh no, he got jumped.
The ward, he's going to get arrowed. Thompson continues to walk within vision and continues to get picked off. He was like 8-1 at one point. Now he's 11-4. That's not the same momentum style graph that OG was looking for out of Thompson.
And it's a big kill. Arteezy has the Arcane Rune pop with the meta, so they will definitely be looking to do some damage to this mid-tier 2 tower. Still with the Aegis in hand on Sumail. He's interested in trying to defend this.
No, they actually need 200 gold. Anna is trying to farm it up inside the jungle to get his BKB. Now it's 100 gold, so time walk over. Oh, that's not helping. He doesn't have a climb walk time. But it's okay. EG's only going to take the tier 2 tower in the meantime.
I wonder what Arteezy's going next. If he wants to go Scotty or if he wants to go Butterfly. Because both of the items give him really, really good HP in this game. The Butterfly giving the evasion against both the Enchantress impetus against the Void, and of course against the tiny tree throw, the agility armor still adds up. And he will go Butter over the Scotty. Favors the... Feels like its overall tankiness. I feel like it's comparable in this game. I think a Scotty and a Butterfly will give roughly... Maybe the Butter will even give him more health against these heroes. And Tread's switch onto Strength. He will have about 2.2k health when the Butterfly arrives later.
You could normally say, like, hey, why not both? But if OG get one good fight, he may not have that option for the second.
It's true. OG's line... OG are absolutely not out of it yet. It's not like this game is over.
You got Tiny beating the crap out of a tier 2 towers. No one's here from EG to fight this. Anna will come in to help out as well. With the BKB completed, the combo's up from OG. EG does have to give it some level of respect.
The thing OG needs to make sure of is that they find a way of combining their Shaker and Void effectively. One of the weaknesses of this pairing is that to an extent they do the same thing in the fight. Shaker wants to blink Echo and stun lockdown people. Void wants to blink Chrono or jump in Chrono and do the same thing. But they can't do it on top of each other. It needs to be delayed. And if they get the idea at the same time, it can be a disaster. If they layer it perfectly, it's super nice. So, gotta pay good attention to how the fights start off.
And this is a lot of patience from EG on the top lane. How long do they hold this? No one's coming to defend the tier 1 tower. Alright, maybe we should push it. EG, up 30-minute bounty runes. Split it half and half, and another Arcane Rune. This is bread and butter for Terrorblades. And Anna, well, maybe he has to Chrono to actually save it. The Fissure holds him out. The 4-star pushes him away.
Jerax
really are trying to hold it. Thompson jumps in for the avalanche. Does not go. Arteezy going to go in for the BKB. The callout's coming as well. They have to make sure he doesn't get the Thunder offset. Has the high ground BKB protection. 3-man Chrono. Marano's the only one that missed out on it, but they take out Samel. He's number 1. Terrorblade number 2. The Fissure. The control from Jerax is perfect. This time we're layering it like a cake. Moving towards S4. The detection was already out. Maybe with the Bastion, they have another dust available. Down he goes. OG, they're dangerous. They bite. Oh, Jerax. No! Oh, he caught him in the tree. Crit. Well, you're in a bit of a pickle. Leap away. Oh, maybe the pickle off the burger. Tree toss going to be off target. Crit. Jukes, really. He's moving around the trees. Thompson, where is he? Into the side. You can get yourself a buyback all you want. Thompson, he's volleying for the wrong direction. Crit's up north, but they're pushing the mid-tower while all this is going on. Crit was just playing around the side, but Anna playing objective-based gaming with OG. They're used to entering this base around the 20-minute mark, but they'll still do it at 31.
And remember, what set all of this off was an arcane rune. Arteezy wanted that rune to get the metamorphosis efficiency, and it ended up setting up OG for a perfect team fight. They played around the rune well, and they're going to be rewarded handsomely. They get a full lane of racks from this, it looks like.
It looks like it.
And then they can just back off, reset, and buy their items. Nope, they're not going to complete the racks. This might be defendable.
Jerax just buys a little bit of space. Blink forward, S4 going on to Jerax. There is, well, Chronos now off cooldown.
And they did get the full lane. They didn't stop the siege creep from attacking, so S4 went for the aggressive stun.
Look at the money as well. MKB got completed already. Do you still go Arteezy in for the butterfly?
I think he might want to change his plan now and go Scotty. I think now it's...
I don't think he's
better.
seen it though. Like in the quick buy, he still has butterfly. Is he going to buy the Eagle Song as he walks past? Yes, he is.
Okay.
So they didn't get the information on Anna.
He doesn't have buyback now. That's bold.
They need to keep these lanes pushed out and buy Arteezy the time to farm.
Look at the swing and win expectancy we've just had on that XP graph over the last 5 minutes. OG have swung this game by almost 50%. From EG having about almost 80, so now OG have about 60.
So all these combinations starting to arrive for OG. Gives you confidence going into the team fights as long as they're off cooldown. But I gotta say, man, I'm loving this Jerax ES more than I was loving the ES in the first game. He is just being everywhere. He feels sacrificial, but he's never properly sacrificed. Just able to live, chains done perfectly. Scouting arrow won't find anybody. Actually, let's see for a moment, no tell.
That's a big thing about this this combo from OG. When you said that, like, he has all these good chain stunts, they don't have a save in EG's lineup. OG, they have the Oracle ulti to save people that get in trouble. EG, however, if Arteezy gets caught in Chrono, the only save that they have for him is trying to stomp some heroes on the enemy team, but you're not stomping this BKB Void, you're not stomping the BKB Ent, so who are you going to stop? Like, these are the guys killing him right now.
Need some Ghostbusters. Hurricane Pike totally done on the Enchantress. EG, they're smoking up to move out. This could just be a ward mission. They do have 2 of them on fly. They need to get planted as we look towards the Roshan counter. He will respawn in 30 seconds. Anna is already having a peak time walking into the pit. Smoke wall breaks, entries down. But it's the Observer ward behind them that's giving the information for OG. Up on the hillside.
Oh, the smoke.
Oh, the Observer and Sentries both being planted at the same time. Jump in! Ooh, Anna, he was baiting out the Moonlight Shadow. He started the Chronosphere, but then he brings the arms back down again. They still see Fly under the Observer and Sentry. He gets out of range of the Sentry, however. And Jerax, that probably wasn't the order he meant to do that in. But now he can see Fly, but he won't go it. Remember, Roshan's the target. They can't expend these huge abilities on anything other than EG heroes.
Really nice dodge from EG. I think Anna's smoke got broken by the Ogre, I think it was, and he blinked away instantly, and Anna tried to chase and find something, but couldn't get it, so not fruitful there from OG, but they get control of the area, which also has value. With Roshan up, if EG want to try to get there, they have quite a ways to run. They have the smokes ready, they have plenty of them, in fact, 3 of them on fly.
But there's so much damage on Anna, they're going to get through it before EG will arrive. Having both MKB and the Mjolnir, Seb's helping him out by tanking it through, so they're not taking any damage back.
Perfect position from Thompson. He's going to break smoke here.
They'll get rid of the Observer Wall. He's going to get information, and now he just starts the tree toss, trying to almost bait out some kind of ability in the trees. Creating space. Aegis is picked up. It is in the hands of Anna, and they'll pass the cheese over to Thompson. He has the Crystallis available too. So this tree toss, just this volley. It's on Federer level right now.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
And now you've got to be really, really careful as EG. The push will be coming eventually. I think a lot of pressure right now is on Fly's shoulders. Hit a good good stomp, get a good splitter off. They will need every bit of damage they can get.
They're buying up. I'm wondering if the courier can make the track and if Samel will want to spend the money. He can buy a Satanic right now.
BKB on Ogre. This is very unusual build from S4. But he feels like if he isn't getting chain stunned, he can perhaps provide like a pseudo save for RTZ by just going in and stunning people.
Where are actually any of their auras? This could be one of the few games that we don't see, even if Vlad's picked up. Like, there's nothing from EG.
And that's bad news for Terrorblade. He loves to have Vlads in his team.
The best thing is a Ring of Basilicus. That's it.
Crit prioritizing getting a Solar Crest. I think it's a better choice than a Vlad's too. You need to protect that one key guy that gets hit in the chrono. And with Solar Crest, that can make the difference between life and death.
TP is coming towards the top.
There's still a bounty rune up here.
36.5 minutes in, Crit's going to show himself, and G-Rex is instantly going to jump if he feels it's real, and he feels it strongly. The fissure, the stun, a quick leap away. Maybe there's a control. Mirana nuked down into the trees once again. Crit trying to use the Ana spot into Moonlight Shadow. He just has to wait it out. The stomp is just out of range. Crit once again, he gets visible only because of the leap away, and now G-Rex, he gets the slam down at the end. Was not there.
Crit was scared he was going to get caught. Jerex with the gem just needs to get in range. And they get him. Good read from OG, sending up these two heroes here, expecting that somebody will go and push the lane out, and they're right.
EG just trapped in the base for now. OG looking for the killer blow. Nothing but illusions to push out the lanes. Tiny trying to find trees to work with. All Ana needs to do is get that nice chronosphere with Thompson on the tree line. Ana, multicast is arriving from S4. And Ana starts to drop low, can't really time walk off a lot of that damage, but hey, Seb is there to attend to his wounds. The real mercy. Wrong game.
Yep. I agree.
Tier 3 tower's been beaten down. Here we go again. Long stun on the arrow. Ana, remember, he's got the Aegis Immortal. But it's the low cooldown abilities. Fly getting smacked in the ball. Thompson! Oh! That tree had thistles! Buyback has to arrive. The melee rack is going to fall. Ana's still waiting for the right chronosphere time. Martizi playing on the edge. At least he has to dodge some of the damage. Here's your jump forward. Time.
Oh, he got two matches.
And now into the chronosphere. They hold him. They toss him down. And Zemail needs to do some work. Buyback developed from Martizi. It's now or never. The arrow, he'll connect. Thompson still just having to stand there in the middle of the ET splitter. Ana's jumped himself back again. But Martizi, he's here to fight. Thompson, he's there to be saved. They're trying to get up the hill. The stun is actually able to get Thompson down on the hillside. He actually TP'd down in front of Arteezy on Arteezy's home. They didn't take the racks though. The melee racks dropped to 200. It's now regenning up.
But that was a really expensive hold. They had to buy back their Terrorblade, Gyro, and Elder Titan just to defend. They didn't even get a good fight out of it. They killed the Oracle.
Yeah, that was it.
It's like the worst trade in the history of trade deals. Maybe ever. That's really bad.
Someone get them a new negotiator.
Yeah, OG are feeling very comfortable right now in this game. And the primary problem is that Arteezy actually, they don't have a really good frontliner, right? You want somebody that goes in first, starts the fight so that Arteezy and Sumail don't get targeted, but the only guy you can really do it with is Ogre. But he's not tanky enough to feel like he can do it. If he blinks BKBs and goes in, he's just gonna get focused. And there's the damage with the tree volley. Jesus Christ.
Same one that killed Fly. This one almost kills S4. He'll be dreaming of having that plus 40 strength. He's a quarter of a level away from it. But even then, I don't know if it'll help. The damage just seems to get stronger and stronger from OG. Aegis will be reclaimed. But now Void has a Lincoln Sphere as well. And he's going for an Aghanim Scepter build on the Void. As many chronos as they can get every minute.
Here we go again.
Yep.
Lincoln's popped.
But where's the opening?
OG want to go because there's no metamorphosis. So they feel like EG can't take this fight. So far they're right. They even have the save.
EG's going to smoke up, however. What do they do? You want to wrap around the back? Smoke's already breaking on Sumail. Saves the one on the front line. He's got BKB. He knows he can just be that attractor who wants to come in from EG. The melee barrack doesn't really stand a chance. Another sleep. This one's over on faces forward. Ogre jumping into the back lines. Anna instantly jumps back out to help his teammates. The BKB Ogre. It was a good distraction, but EG, what can they really get out of it? A call down on top of the ramp. Set moves forward, but here comes Anna going on top of Arteezy. Where's the opening still? Fly's going down. He just cannot take this Sparkle bite. And now the jump in from man in the corner. Toss them down, Thompson, and maybe they got a little bit more. G-Rex controlling Sumail on the back lines. There's no more BKBs. There's no more real tank to work with. And Arteezy, so low on life, does not have the thunder. And even kills him with a proc on the Mjolnir. This may just be it with none of them left. Gyrocopter doesn't have enough power. OG will not let up, and Thompson's like, okay, inside your base. I remember doing this in game 2 of my last winners bracket match. So the scenario is slightly different this time around. Still objectives to take. And EG still want to try and fight. Fly jumping in for multicast. Anna once again saved. The false promise is there. Notal will sacrifice himself, or will even be a sacrifice. Sumail can't get the kills. Thompson, he starts the toss up. And that's GG. We will have a remake of the TI8 semi-final 2 going to a game 3, a decider between OG and EG.
What a great game from OG. It looked relatively grim at one point. We were starting to consider if they were going to falter in this game, but they came online with their Void. They joined the team fights. They got a couple of really good ones. I think in this game, compared to game 1, just night and day with Thompson, finding tons of kills in the early game, keeping OG basically kind of even by doing that. They never really got far ahead early on in the game, but they secured that they could get to this mid-game stage that they were looking for with their timing. And boy, did they hit hard when they got it.
Yeah, they did. And man, that's going to hit home for Evil Geniuses. Now leveled up. They looked very, very happy at the end of game 1. I love how Notel even just stops for a moment. Looking back, it's like, come on, man. Everybody together. Let's walk out of here. We're good.
The biggest difference between these two teams in this game, when draft-wise, there's obviously many differences, but one of the really big things, OG with the save. Notel has a huge impact in this game with this Oracle save. EG, they couldn't match it.
Well, let's see who can save it out. Series tied 1-1.
And that is the way we like it. A game 3 between these two titans. Redo of last year, just the other way around, you know, but going the distance is always a joy to watch these two teams play. We're going to break down the game a little bit. Grant, I want to go start with you because, you know, you watch your boys play and they didn't cut it this time around.
No, they didn't. It was an insanely good draft from OG. As he said, right, if you last pick your 5, it better have a huge impact, and it did. Save after save. Tops and middle played an extraordinary game. I mean, Sumail did. Both middle players were probably some of the best players that game, but Thompson, he ran around, made a ton of space. Arteezy's life was hell for like 15 to 20 minutes. He had absolutely no impact.
It was a tough game for him for sure. It looked great though. What do you got? What do you got for us tonight? Why are you pointing to these stats? What do you see here that you find worth pointing at?
Thompson's KDA ratio 13-4-15. This man participated nearly in every single engagement. That last toss into the chronosphere, and there's something very specific that you mentioned, Grant, that Arteezy's life was hell.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you exactly why it was hell.
Ooh.
Gentlemen, what do you know about vision? Blitz?
It's pretty important.
It's pretty important. Yeah. That is correct. Tell me what exactly this thing is.
That's a ward.
That's a ward. That's an observer ward. And they last for a great deal of time. So, you know, they get placed at some point in time. You move on with your life, blah, blah, blah. But Thompson always takes advantage of these situations. He sees Arteezy farming the jungle. He wants to make sure that this is never a comfortable situation for him. Kills him easy. That ward, everybody gets one. Can you get 2 with the same ward? Let me tell you something. You can. As we see here, it is yet again the same ward. And Arteezy is yet again farming the same area. This camp, it's all the same to Thompson. He just wants kills. He's going to toss in Jerax. You'd think he'd have an Aghanim Scepter. No, it's only 10 minutes into the game. That was just a tiny toss. So much vision control here, and Thompson just continues dominating the entire map. You see here, Mirana has nowhere left to go. She can't go north, she can't go east. Gets a Thompson to the face, and he's still not done. Sees Fly cruising around the mid lane. He's just gonna keep on prowl. I don't even know what you would call that walk cycle from Thompson. Perfect fissure block from Jerax. Fly's cornered like a rat.
If you were a millennial.
Down he goes.
I know a lot of people talk about farming patterns.
Yep.
This TI. This is more like kill patterns.
Systematic.
Systematic slaughter.
Yeah, just, I mean, as he said, the first time Arteezy does that ward, you're like, all right, the fact that no one went out and dewarded it, like, you had to know there's a ward there, just a little bit of a misplay. 2 deaths on a TB from 1 ward is very impactful, as Tsunami just showed.
Yeah, that was crazy, actually. And we talked about, well, if OG could recover, reset, relax, and go back into this second game clean, it felt like they came back with a plan. It looked not completely clean, but definitely a lot cleaner than game 1.
Oh, for sure. And I don't know if OG games are ever really that clean. Like, they're a little bit clowny because they're willing to fight you on any terms. Like, as soon as they hit their item timings, I feel like this team is like, it's go time. We're just going to engage nonstop. So sometimes it's going to look a little bit awkward like we saw, but when it goes well, it goes really well.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to, like, the team fight, right? One side had a Void and an Earthshaker. The other side, like, what's your biggest team fight? You have a TB, a Mirana, an Ogre. You don't have these end-all, be-all spells, so eventually, if they hit those spells, you're going to lose because you're all single target.
Yep, you are indeed. Now, we have a little bit of time before we get this third game going, which means I can finally get to ask Blitz the question. What was the story?
Oh, okay.
Wait, what story?
He's been saying that he had a story, and we didn't have time on the first panel, and we didn't have time on the second panel, and now finally, this is a high building for me. What is the story?
All right, so we're at ESL Birmingham.
This year or last year?
Last year. And I heard rumblings that they were going to get... I didn't know about Fly, but I heard about S4. That was like the first thing that had happened. So, of course, OG did pretty terrible at the tournament, and I went up to Seb at the end of the tournament, and I was like, I thought he knew about the kick. That's what this was about. I thought he knew about the kick.
No.
So I go up to him, and I was just like, rough times, man. And he's like, it's only ESL. Like, it's all good, man. I was just like, what are you talking about? And he's just like, it's just ESL. It's not that big of a deal. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, I got to backpedal onto this. And he saw my face, and he was trying to figure it out. And then he just left it alone. And later on, he told me that's how he knew stuff went down the way that it went down.
So you're a snitch?
No, I wasn't trying to be. I thought I was trying to be because I like Seb. He was talented too. We briefly, for like 3 days, made a team together. And so he was like, hey. I was trying to console him. I was like, it's all good. Don't worry about it.
He's just like, why? CSL, who cares? Yeah, I've never been by one, whatever.
So wait, is that the only TI player you've played with?
I didn't even play. Here's how it went down. It was like, he was talent, remember, at TI
5?
We were at TI 5 together.
At 5.
And he was just like, hey, we should play together. And I was like, okay. And then I played like 2 days, and I was like, I'm not good. Like, I'm going to hold you back.
You kicked yourself?
I'm going to be real here. Yeah, I played with Sin too for a bit, and I was like,
wow.
I was like, this is a bad idea. I shouldn't do this. And BSJ, in fact. I played with like everybody. I played with 2 of the people on that panel at some point. I played with Purge, and Febby ditched me famously in Korea.
Hey, but you were Purge. You guys were pretty successful, right?
For 3 months, yeah.
Yeah,
What about those other 9? Did you bring that? Do you want to talk about those? That was like 4.
You're a Nexon League champion, Purge.
Yeah, I got the trophy.
Okay.
I was the only one that wanted it. Everyone's like, I don't care. You can have it.
You still have it?
Yeah, of course I still. I'm not just going to throw that away. Where are you going to get one of those in 20 years?
You want to know what we did with our money? The first thing we did when we won that, we went to a Taco Bell in Korea. Oh, that's what Bambo wanted to do.
Yeah.
That's the way I would celebrate.
And Monte Cristo was there.
Yeah, Monte Cristo was there too.
Yeah,
I pedaled with
I am
like, most of the people
disappointed.
here.
Taco Bell?
I'm impressed. Purge, you're a man after. Blitz, you're a man after my own heart.
We saw the EG, right? Be super American. When I first got here, you know what we did? First thing I know we had to do. Blitz was with me. We hit up the Chili's in China, and it was amazing.
We actually straight up went to a Chili. That was the first restaurant I've been to in Shanghai. You know that? Like, that's the actual first restaurant I've been to in Shanghai.
I am impressed and disappointed at the same time, and I did not know that that was possible.
Impress-appointed.
Impress-appointed. I'm sure someone that is impress-appointed an awful lot is someone else on our broadcast team. It is Sir Action Slacks. What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Shaver, I'm in the crowd. It's so electric out here. You know, it might be a little late, but Shanghai never goes to sleep when there's good Dota. And speaking of which, sir, how you doing this evening?
I come from the OG and.
You came to see OG. What do you think? Pretty good comeback?
In fact, I'm the LGD fans.
You're an LGD fan, but this series
I want to see LGD Revenger.
Yes!
So I will support for OG today.
Oh, I think we all want to see that. Sir, who are you supporting?
Actually, LGD Gaming. But I'm also EG fans.
Oh, okay. Why do you want to see EG win?
Because I'm the fans of Atom.
Oh.
Right. I play in like 6 years.
Who isn't a fan of Artor? Now, I asked you two in particular to come up because you had two people that didn't want to be on camera. Madame, why didn't you want to be on camera, my dear?
Hello.
And we also have this man who didn't want to be on camera. Why didn't you not want to be on camera, sir?
Oh,
where are you going? Oh, this guy really doesn't want to be. Hello, my friend. Hello, how are you?
Fine.
You're fine. What do you think of the series, sir? Oh, stay with him. Oh, my friend, I'm so sorry. Can you at least give us a let's go somebody? Who's your favorite team?
LGD.
All right, give me a let's go LGD so you look badass.
Let's go LGD.
You did your best. All right, guys, we still got energy? Are we still awake in this arena? Let me hear it. A little bit. Woo! One guy back there's got it. All right, yeah! Ooh, I was worried there, Shiva. That was a close one. Thank you very much, guys. Hope you still got energy on that panel.
Oh, we definitely do, and I'm already looking forward of seeing the guy that was videotaping the whole thing and seeing his perspective.
Oh, man. That's great. I love it. Like, yeah, I'm rooting for OG. I mean, LGD. I mean, OG. I mean, they're good.
Yeah. Why don't you want to be on camera? Well,
perfect.
Let me just put you in a headlock real quick.
All right. Well, we have a little bit of time, and I'm gonna make you guys feel old. You ready?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm always ready.
All right. We've been talking about Sumail and how he won his first TI. This is his 5th TI.
What? That can't be true.
It is true.
Why would that make Grant feel old? He's 19.
Yeah. I don't look a day over 16. I'm feeling great.
What does that mean?
I don't know. He's making me feel good. No, it's crazy. I remember the first time I actually met Sumail. It was a D2L, the only tournament I've ever went to in Vegas.
Yeah.
And he was so young. That's the famous picture with all the Chinese players behind him watching it.
Oh, yeah.
He looked so young, and I remember that tournament. It was not a very good tournament, and Sumail, he didn't look good. Like, honestly.
He was
picked
super
him up.
nervous.
Yeah, he was, and it didn't help that there was 40% packet loss during the whole tournament. But, like, this guy, he got last place. He lost to a team with Demon standing in on it. So I was like, this guy can't be the future. And then, Q forward 6 months, he's winning a TI, and what do you know?
Didn't EG produce that tournament?
That's you, Sheever.
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
no, but
Conrad
there was some affiliation.
Yeah,
true.
there was strong affiliation. Conrad was like the guy who ran production.
Well, it was just a trial tournament to get Sumail comfortable with playing.
And it worked.
On stage. It worked because after that they went to DAC 2015. They went to China. They went to Shanghai and they crushed it.
They went on a storm. That was like that was EG's best time.
Storm.
Probably.
I see what you did there. A storm. I get it.
Yeah. What a journey that has been. It's been actually crazy that EG always has been very high at the top in a lot of internationals. And right now, I mean, even if they don't win the next game, they're still top 6, right? Yes.
But
which is still really good. And I'm assuming that they're...
I don't think either team's okay with that, though, right? If you ask OG or EG, are you okay with the top 6? They're going to be like, no, it's a win or nothing. It's a win or we don't give a shit kind of thing.
Well, you tell me. We're about to see these players take the stage for the 3rd time in this series. Do they look like they will be okay at being top 6? No. That is the face of someone who wants to take his 2nd international. Where's first? That's second. In a second. We actually have 7 TI winners taking the stage right now. And 8 if you count coaches.
It is. That is absolutely crazy. And they both look confident, right? Like neither team's coming up kind of sad. You see Sumail leading the way, smiling. No Tail on the other side doing the exact same thing. We're just ready for some good Dota.
We really, really are. Now, we know that, you know, the best thing to deal with OG is ban out the IO and the MAG. We've seen OG do that, or sorry, EG do that both times around. I'm assuming it's going to be happening again. I'm curious to find out what makes these two teams, even if they don't have the IO and the MAG, what makes these two teams be such a good match for each other? Because they do tend to push each other to the limits.
They do.
Will you want to take this one?
I think it's they have like a similar way of playing, and I don't mean like in terms of like early late game. I think it comes down like to the item timings. It's when Arteezy and Anna say like we're both ready to fight at this point. So, and they're willing to push each other at different points. Like, and also they're really highly skilled too. So it just sort of leads to like a nice chess match where one team wants the game to go and end at one point, and conversely it's true too. Like if you see how they play Void, for example, and like how he rotates, he wants to hit his item timing first. He wants like one kill item. Same with Thompson. And that's like generally how they move around. And EG sort of similar. They're just a little bit slower paced in that way.
I think it's always Arteezy wants that second item.
Yeah.
Usually, because he went like first item BKB, right? He went like Yasha BKB this game, I believe.
Yeah, and I think it's because he realized like he probably had to fight a little bit earlier than he would have liked.
Yeah.
I like how they just push each other. And plus, like the rivalry aspect of it, I think always just makes the game a little bit more hype.
Yeah, it does. They're never just going to go down like, sure, game one was a stomp, but that's exactly why it comes back to game two. It's never going to be a straight up 2-0 stomp. No matter what people think, no matter who's the best team in the world, like they're always going to push each other.
And you know how often it is, you know, we like a good story and we like it when there's, you know, a little bit of spice in there too. And often the players are like, you know what, I don't care who I play. I just want to win. This time, we know they care.
Yep.
They all changed their profile pictures on Steam to place the banners to No Tail's face when the handshake happened, which, by the way, there will be a handshake. We don't know which one yet, but there will be a handshake after the next game. I mean, I personally love the drama.
I mean, to be fair, that was some of the times you said that even other players want to do it for the memes. They play it up because they find it humorous as well. Almost the shipping culture that happens whenever these rivalries are formed.
Yeah, Matuma Man said that if for whatever reason, like his dream was to play against Liquid in the lower bracket, and if he knocked him out, he was going to do like a fake angry handshake when he walked past. Yeah. That was, like,
but he was expecting to be knocked out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Shiva, they got 18. But
that means he didn't think that he would win.
Let me just say the expectations were, they were as is.
I mean, that being said, I do hope that people can like separate the entertainment aspect versus the actual drama aspect, because, you know, obviously we like talking about this kind of stuff. I don't know what Fly's thinking. I don't know what No Tail's thinking. These people are real people with real families, real lives, and that kind of stuff. And so I think it's important that viewers and us can kind of separate the concept of, you know, what happens here whenever the cameras go off, when the GGs are called. These people continue leading their lives, and so you don't necessarily need to like push your drama on.
I can assure you, after all that happened, though, it was real beef.
Yes,
it was there
sure.
was no fake drama in that.
But it's been a year at this point.
was it has been, but. How do you feel about that? You know, you just saw OG, the team who's pretty much just making fun of you the whole year, you know, go and win that TI. Like, a year later, you're here again. I feel like the same feelings are definitely coming back up again.
Yeah, I feel like that is true for a lot of people, the point you made. Tsunami, it's true. Like, for example, if you look at Kuro and Puppy, you know, they are rivals, and we like to play that up. But in reality, you know, they are respecting of each other, and they're both happy at the place they're at now, as we saw in an interview earlier today.
Although, didn't Kuro say in that interview, are we friends?
Yeah, that was a joke, though.
Oh, okay. You say so.
Invited him to his wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine.
Kuro was at Puppy's wedding.
What if it was the red wedding?
Oh, yeah, well.
I was at the wedding. I'm still alive.
Okay, so it was good. All right, Shiva, thank you for confirming. You know, I was getting nervous, but we're
It's all good. It's all good. No, I think that this is some drama that, I call it drama, some friction that is definitely real.
Things need resolution.
Yeah.
Not the player.
This is true. You know what we also...
Sorry.
We need some Dota 2 to be played. We need a Game 3. But for that, we need a draft. We need some heroes chosen. So let's go to that draft.
OG versus Evil Geniuses. Game 3.
The deciding game 3 coming up in just a second. The winner of this is going to go on to face LGD in the winner bracket final. A huge match. There is some crazy repeat storylines that could happen here. I don't know which way it's going to go, though. What do you guys think?
Not too sure, but it's looking like Enchantress is a pretty hot one that's going to be contested and might be deciding quite a bit here in this matchup. As we saw, lanes were really important in that last game. Of course, also the big team fights, but it does feel like Enchantress seems to just like set you up to have that like great advantage coming out of the laning phase.
Enchantress is Enchantress, but I just realized like the mid lane is so important. I think both games, whoever won mid just had the game on their backs. Like Thompson, a super hyper aggressive mid player who, you know, if the advantage is given, or as I say that, they pick Enchantress again.
So almost exactly the same bands. The only difference is Elder Titan was in the first phase instead of Ancient Apparition, similar to the first game draft, except pick order is flipped as well.
So as I was saying, I think like this Thompson, this Sumail, these two players just love to kill heroes, and if they're given the advantage, they're just gonna go for blood. So I think the mid matchup is really important between these two teams.
Yeah, I want to see, in particular, at least for OG, I want to see them playing something that just run around and make kills happen with like the Monkey King or the Tiny. EG, they're going to deny that. They're actually going to take the Tiny away this time around.
I feel like one of the strengths that Thompson has as a player is his ability to just like go insane. He makes your opponents look like pub opponents, is what it seems like. And he was able to do that last game. He got 3 kills like Tsunami showed within a matter of 1 minute. It was insane to watch. Can he do that again without Tiny? Like, what's the hero substitute that would solve that?
That's why I said
Does
Monkey
he need
King.
to do it? Monkey King is definitely one of those heroes that he does it with, but can you beat a Tiny in lane with Monkey King? I guess he has no armor at level 1. It could work.
I used to see the matchup actually a lot last year, and it was like pretty back and forth. I think the Monkey King won most of those though.
Okay.
But it's also the mid game is like concerning too, because you can also just get burst down.
And there's a roaming Mirana.
And there's going to be a roaming Mirana.
Yeah, the Ava toss into an arrow, it can be very devastating.
Yeah.
Is this going to be Thompson Invoker again?
This is probably flex pick, right? I think it can still be Jerax's hero for sure. I think you leave it open until you see what lane you're against for sure in the mid lane. And I think when you have the Enchantress, it allows you the luxury of actually being able to go for a little bit more of a greedy 4 position, because Enchantress just is Enchantress and has a pretty good lane.
So you can put a weaker hero with her, and then it'll transition into late game well, and the laning stage won't be terrible, right?
Yeah. And like Enchantress, like I talked about, game 2 needs some AoE teamfight control, and Invoker provides that.
Yep.
On position 4, so yeah, it can be a position 4.
They're actually going to ban the SD finally. Wasn't being banned out in the last 2 games, but this time I guess because they do have that Mirana and they're not maybe wanting to have a save this time around, because last time, right, they saved that Oracle for last pick to save versus the combo.
Yeah, that's right. Faceless Void was integral for OG in the late game. In the mid game, he ate a lot of arrows. Maybe a good thing, but yeah, not going to have that this game. So it's going to be a lot harder for OG to set up guaranteed teamfight wins later on.
Yeah, Void and Invoker is such a devastating combo together. The Void Chrono into Cataclysm in the late game is pretty devastating, so I think they're just taking that out.
I love seeing, TI is so great because you always like do the full circle back to like either super carries getting picked up like anti-mage, or it's just like these massive team fight lineups that just constantly are battling. Like you were mentioning in the last game, we had 50-something kills in the 40-minute mark, or even more than that, something like that. It's just non-stop aggression, non-stop fighting, non-stop trying to take these battles. And usually the team with the better team fight at the TI main stage ends up having an easier time, at least executing.
It just really helps when you have a hero that can grasp win. Like, you know where they are, you see them, you can jump in, hard disable them, guarantee kills. That makes a huge difference. It really helped against the Terrorblade, especially. Once you Chronosphere him, you're like, okay, if you don't have a save, you're dead, period. It makes the game a lot easier.
Especially for these teams too. I think EG, OG, compared to like these Chinese teams, they really love to fight early and just like spill a lot of blood.
We'll see if they can do the same thing. Centaur banned now. Mobile hero, burst damage, has a pretty good time getting his team on top of the enemy team. So maybe they're worried about the carry versus offlane matchup. What do you guys think?
It can be a setup for the Mirana arrow later on, and it's either Sand King or Centaur, and EG doesn't have ET this time around, so the entire ban does make a bit of sense.
So you think Sanking's not as bad now? Because the ET's not there?
Yeah, it's definitely worse because Sanking Mirana, the dual combo, yes, the damage is there, but it's too like one-dimensional, the damage. Like, it's bad against BKBs, it's gonna fall off eventually because the damage is linear. It doesn't scale well.
Then over the CM that they used in the first game, I think this is also just dictating that they want to play really aggressive like they did with the CM last time.
Yeah.
Allows everyone to just be constantly on the map more because you always have that aura, you can always keep pushing out lanes, you can always keep playing aggressive, and you can even threaten an aggro tri-lane as we saw them do with that CM in the first series, or in the first game.
It's a good form of damage from position 5 towards the Enchantress too, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point. Our Freezing Field, her ultimate was really useful in a lot of cases against the PA as well. So,
Lifestealer looks like a pretty decent hero for OG here.
Yeah, I believe it got banned second phase in the first game in this similar situation.
Feels good versus all these just like high magic damage. Tiny is, sure you have high armor, but very high HP hero that Lifestealer really enjoys playing versus.
Yeah, the only time it's good versus Tiny, or for Tiny, is when he gets his Ags and you can do like ranged heavy physical damage.
Could be a carry that OG could be looking at here, but I don't know if they'll pick it in the third. They might save it.
I mean, technically, they could have 0 supports on the board right now, a little bit abnormal.
Right. True.
Anything else really good? Ogre is still in the pool.
Juggernaut looks okay for OG as well.
Which hero?
Juggernaut.
Oh, okay. Yeah, similar as the Lifestealer.
Right. Wow. With this Rubik pick, it seems like it's an Invoker mid, right?
Yeah, that's what you think. This is actually cool. We saw now the LGD series, I've been seeing a lot of teams actually picking the Rubik versus the Mirana now, just because you're likely to get a pretty damn good steal. Like, everything is good. Leap is probably like your worst one, and it's a triple away to either get in or get out as a Rubik, which isn't bad to have. Arrow is a great spell because you're going to get the extra duration. Starstorm as well, you get the amplification. I've really actually been liking that Rubik pick a lot that I've been seeing from teams today. Versus that Mirana in particular.
Yeah, it's against CM too, which is another, like, it feels really great playing Rubik against CM. All her spurs are pretty nice. And you kind of can't ulti against Rubik, because Rubik's CM ulti is so much stronger than your ulti.
Yeah.
And even if he stuns somebody else, he can still possibly throw them into her, interrupt her ultimate.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was a really good Rubik pick, but I'm kind of afraid for this Invokers game. Like we saw in the game 1, I feel like EG Mirana can roam to mid, meanwhile like Rubik cannot kind of roam to mid to kill the Tiny. And Tiny versus Invoker matchup in general, Tiny seems to have the upper edge. And we don't even know if it's I guess it's a Tiny mid. Like, it should be a Mirana for Tiny mid.
Yeah, that's what that's probably the more than likely.
Yeah.
We know Sumail loves to play Tiny as well, as we saw last year, of course, when he had the 30-something kills or whatever when he ran over the whole game.
It's like literally this match in this part of the bracket a year ago.
It's the same heroes.
The all-time kill record for a single game. Yeah. Got 30 kills. It was an insane match, and then Sumail still lost the match.
That was versus OG too, right?
Yeah.
And that was the one. That was the
thing.
damage mitigation draft where they had Spectre, Io, Centaur, and I remember he's just running around and then he tossed Arteezy into the tier 4s. Of course, that happened in that game.
Hey man, he got 30 kills. I do not care. You cannot say that one was Sumail's fault. He messes up once.
Ask BSJ about that. You know, he blames Sumail entirely for that game.
Really?
Yeah.
This pick's kind of throwing me off because it should be EG crit. Crit on Dark Willow is one of his favorite heroes. He's amazing at that hero too.
Yeah, wait a minute.
What about a 3 Mirana? I mean, really, Mirana could hypothetically lane in any situation.
That's true. I guess they could still do that 3 Mirana and then having this.
But 3 Mirana with a Willow, that seems too squishy. So I think it's a mid Mirana and Tiny offlane.
Okay.
That makes more sense.
That makes more sense, yeah.
Is it that squishy versus Rubik? I mean, Willow can get 2. You get Cursed Crown, toss that on a guy, that's an arrow. For sure. Plus Bramble Mace follow-up. Maybe kill potential. And crits, Dark Willow is excellent.
Yeah.
And Dark Willow has tons of magic damage.
It's
so she's going to be able to kill the Enchantress. She's going to rush the Spirit Vessel. It kind of fits a lot of boxes. The only thing that's weird about it is it's going to force Mirana into a weird role, potentially. Not a non-standard for the current meta.
And they're going to go for that Jug now, especially versus the Willow.
Yeah,
I think it's so good versus that hero.
Lifestealer was an option too, I think. But I think
what makes Jug better?
I think OG, they're the healing ward. They can just keep on there's 2 healers, the Nature's Enchantress's heal and Juggernaut healing ward, so they can just keep being on the map.
So also, I think the Jug is better versus the Willow overall because you can actually do something when she's inside of her realm. You can actually spin and do some damage as well. It's a small, but it's something.
All right, last phase of bans here. Oracle banned out once again. They are anticipating the save hero. Any other save heroes? Do they need a save hero with the Jug carry?
He can kind of protect himself. There's no BKB piercing disables on EG at all right now, so that spin is going to be really useful for himself to protect them.
Now, one thing EG is actually really missing this game, unlike what they had last game, was they don't have a setup stun other than Tiny. So it's going to be really difficult for Mirana to get arrows unless it's like Dark Willow. Basically, it's a delayed stun. So
They have Frostbite. I mean, it's not amazing, and it doesn't usually come out like laning phase, really. But I mean,
correct.
Yeah, it's not an easier combo to hit.
Yeah, it's still
But when BKBs come out for OG, then they will have defensive options against EG's current build. So they go for Senking. So that's their
5-position Enchantress, then, right?
Yeah, that makes
right. That's the no-tail Enchantress.
It's a very weird lane, but I always see no-tail pulling it off. The Enchantress and the Juggernaut lane. Usually Juggernaut wants some disable from position 5, so they have that nice disable into spin combo, but let's see how no-tail pulls this off.
Yeah, he can also so he has also the Dispel as well versus the Willow. That can be kind of nice to. Actually, what am I talking about? Sorry.
Other way around.
Yeah,
can't dispel.
Just
yourself.
kidding.
It's okay. We all make mistakes.
It's been a long day.
Your mistake was way less egregious than mine was. So I'll let it go.
I was like, what am I saying right
so
now?
What is the carry hero needed for EG here?
I don't know. That's the question you're supposed to answer.
Maybe it's Slark. I can see Slark being okay.
Arteezy Slark. Whoa.
Anti-mage.
This is what we said, right? The anti-mages, they trickle back into the TI meta. And he's versus that potentially the core, I mean, not potentially, but the core invoker. So high mana pool.
But I don't think it's the strongest hero this game.
Why do you think they went for it?
Juggernaut's pretty good against anti-mage.
Yeah.
I think they went for it because it's really great against Sanking and the Rubik.
Like lane-wise, it'll be easy?
Lane-wise and game-wise. Lane-wise, I'm not so sure. Like he might have a tougher time, but I know like in-game, it's going to be pretty easy, but Juggernaut is pretty good against anti-mage.
All right, guys, that's the final draft here for this last upper bracket match. We've got a really good game ahead of us. Let's toss it over to Toby and Sind.
It is game 3, it's the decider, but who this time around will take the 2-1 and that winner's bracket position? OG and EG, interesting drafts once again. It's always interesting when you ban out a Magda and IO, but you're loving a nice little switch up from OG as far as the lane rolls go.
Yeah, they gave away the Enchantress again, and as the panel was talking about, this Enchantress, wait, they picked Sanking, this Enchantress has got to be support now, and that's why they picked the Anti-Mage. This is the worst match. I love playing Sanking. It's one of my favorite off-laners. I hate playing against Anti-Mage. It is so bad of a lane matchup, and that's a big part of the reason EG picked it here is to force that matchup as well as it being good against the Invoker in the game. However, OG step it up a notch. They're like, okay, we need to solve this. You saw them in the booth. They were doing their math.
Yep.
And they've decided that they will put the Sanking position 4 and No-Tail is playing 5 Rubik. That's how important it is for them to solve this problem. It was kind of a checkmate situation almost, but they got out of it. And now it's just a matter of, can they salvage the lanes? Can this work with this support duo? It's very unusual.
The panel was already saying, like, somehow No-Tail makes the support Enchantress work as well.
Yep.
Now, making the support Rubik work. How do you try and lane this up then to make it actually happen? We've seen Seb do his work. Chirac was, in my mind, amazing in Game 2 on that ES. He's still going to play the same team role, team stunner, team fight role that OG really need from him as well. But how do you still ensure that No-Tail has a good game on this 5 Rubik?
Well, fortunately for him, he's laning with a strong carry in lane. Juggernaut is a pretty good laner, and there's no matchup in this that he totally can't deal with. So
it's not a combination, right? Like Rubik and Juggernaut together is spin and telekinesis grab. It's old, but it could still work.
But the problem with that is Rubik deals so little damage. That's the problem with that combo in the start. When Rubik hits level 3 and has 2 and Fate Bolt, sure. But if you compare it to something like Lich Jugger or Crystal Maiden Jugger, there's just way more in the way of damage from those 2 supports in the lane. So it's definitely a weaker version. But I honestly, I just love it from OG that they're doing this, because I think it's a very creative and probably ideal solution to the problem that they have to solve.
I estimate the
question is if it's good enough.
to be above.
And it's also about what lanes they get. Because sure, you get the core Sanking out of the problem against Anti-Mage, but guess what? Support Sanking also hates facing Anti-Mage. So you still need to get the lanes right. and go from there. And it looks like EG might have the right read in this game. They've put their tiny top so far.
And Anti-Mage is down on the bottom lane with Fly.
Yeah, they want the Anti-Mage to avoid the Ench. So that will mean Anti-Mage will not play against Sand King. So there's a bit of a win for both teams in that sense. Sand King will have a better time up here, but Anti-Mage will also be avoiding the Ench.
That was nice from Fly, right underneath the Juggernaut, grabs the rune. So it's 3 for 1 at the very beginning.
This aggro tri lane from EG is very unorthodox, by the way. Crystal Maiden, Dark Willow, Anti-Mage aggro tri lane.
It's like, you go for the Nova, then they have to navigate the Bramble at slow speed. Like, this can't last for long, can it?
Well, it's kind of good news for Ana, because he's good against this lane. But No-Tail could have a very hard time, and the question is how much farm he's going to get. Oh, that's some really good damage into Ana already, actually. They're playing without a healing salve. Meanwhile, bottom lane.
Yeah. Bottom lane they go ham. Samael's taking a lot of damage. S4's having a hard time walking away from Jirax on the top. Got a nice observe ward onto, like, just on the other side of the trees, so they're able to see S4 any support that comes his way. Mainly the support from Fly.
He got 3 free hits in on Ana, just burning off the mana as fast as possible, so Ana has to dig into the Mango to spin later, and then, oh, that's
a great Bramble.
That's some serious damage.
Is he going to spin? He hasn't let that thing up, and 6 gets 0 HP. Ana is down. Crit gets the reach.
He refused to skill spin because he feels like he needs healing ward to sustain.
Absolutely no sense.
And he TP's back down. He still hasn't put in his skill point and hasn't bought any extra regen. There's no salve still coming in. No-Tail had the gold for it. Honestly surprised that they didn't drop some regen and bring that with Ana's TP.
And now the EG have the advantage. They're moving Fly to the top lane.
8 for 3 against 1-0. That's a tri-lane well executed in the start.
Mid. The jump came in. Thompson and Samael. What a surprise. Killing each other into the tier 1 tower. Samael gets the kill, so he'll get the XP.
Yeah, big winner there, Samael. He got more gold and he got the experience. So he's going to feel good about that one.
The next label play.
Because that's just the way the mid lane gets to work when it's a 1-1 trade.
Sometimes the guy who gets the kill second is not as unfavored as Thompson was in that exchange, but...
It's actually hilarious how they start again. Thompson's back under the tier 1 tower, beating into Samael. They both have to start munching on tangos and dropping down a half-life bottom lane. Arteezy, he's going once again on Ana. Ana still holding the spin as Arteezy drops low. They just want to get some experience into them. Well, S4 enchanted up, buying Jirax some time to attack, and he's body blocking S4, trying to buy more time for Seb to get damage in, but S4 will just salve this off.
In the meantime, bottom lane, they're out of regen. OG completely dry. Actually, never mind. Ana got a Tango pack left. But no salve still. No regen, no mana, no tail.
Get the Bramble. Quintus, like, working with Arteezy, you burn up the mana, and then it's just easy harassment from range.
The good news for OG, though, is the top lane is going well. Seb has great farm. They're shutting down the Tiny nicely, as they should be, with the head start they had. But the other two lanes going well for EG. And this time around, Arteezy's not getting shut down. And the way they've been playing the series so far, I think you can consider this an early lead for them. That is what they want. Anti-Mage to have a beginning that he can work with. Is that a healing? That's a Ring of Health flying out? No, it's a Wraith Band and some more regen for Arteezy. So he can keep on the pressure.
Just loving it. Even the fort was used. I think that was actually so the tree toss from S4 wouldn't get the kill on the range creep on top lane. They're really just trying to keep him down as much as possible, and they have. As you said, he's 5 for 0. The lane's looking good, but bottom lane, Arteezy just gets more and more time to beat into him. And now another root blink forward from Arteezy. No-Tail navigating the brambles. He'll get the space, but he will not escape crit. Ana was trying to stand on top of him, I think, to make it a misclick from crit, but it won't work.
And I wonder how Ana's going to recover this time around. We saw in the Void game, the lane might have been a little bit hard, but he recovered nicely. This time around, it just feels harder. Their lane... His Rubik Jugger, how are they supposed to kill in this lane? It's an Anti-Mage and a Willow. You can... Maybe you can get a lift on the Willow and toss it into a spin, but it's not enough damage, and the Anti-Mage is just flat out unkillable. Look at Willow just leaving Arteezy even to go into mid. They're trying to get tops and brambles.
Yeah, Tornado. Oh, He was standing almost smack bang in the middle of one of Crit, and he just moves a little bit further north and dodges.
Nice movement from Topson there. That could have absolutely been a kill.
And what does Anna and Notel do instantly? All right, well, it's time to do some damage towards Arteezy. Hopefully I get one crit, and he got one.
Oh, he got tossed up top, Seb. Got tossed into the tower.
Too deep.
Oh, no, he can't die here. That's real bad for OG's laning. That is such a big kill. And now Jerax might have to yield on the bounty runes too. He has no Enchantress to help him out, so OG will get 3 runes, or EG, sorry, will get 3 runes, maybe even 4. So Mail.
He's moving over for it. That's a
Seb
bottle
is too
charge
late.
too.
4 runes and a kill on the Ench. Seb was out of position and got tossed.
I like how Fly is not even grabbing it. He's waiting it out. Maybe he can even get some bottle charges if he wants to help out. Jirax waiting on the top lane. S4's nearby. They'll go for the Frost. Quick Mango. Anything they've got. Jirax, he's invis for the moment. The tree toss, a little bit off target. Jirax able to dodge. But this is some time that's being wasted by Samael looking for this kill. He'll take the catapult up on top, but Topson's in recovery mode in mid, while this rotation doesn't net a kill.
Are EG gonna swap their lanes so Tiny goes mid now, or what's the plan here?
Like
Leaving the lane empty like this is a bit odd.
I think they're trying to wait until S4 returns to the lane, and now the TP happens.
Now he's half a level behind Topson though.
Anna is getting forever rooted by Crit on bottom lane. There's one Tango left. He'll have to consume the Mango in order to have enough to get the healing ward down, but how is he meant to be farming under here? And instantly taken care of by Crit. There's no sustain at all. It's almost like there's no hope for Anna down here.
And Crit gets that extra mana coming in constantly from the Maiden Aura. He might be dying here though if Notel gets the lift. Jerax is in range. Not anymore now. He's gonna wrap around.
Like, which one's real? I need to choose. I prefer to get the kill over on Arteezy, but it seems impossible unless they have full control. Pick up, throw down. Oh no! The spell shield's leveled up at 4, and Arteezy just trades places with Jirax. And then into Bramble. Arteezy jumps forward. S4 survive with the avalanche. Crit. Level 2 in Shadow Realm has more than enough damage to pop Anna once more. His second death of the game.
That's going to be a Ring of Health for Arteezy now as well, coming in a sec. Going to be furthering his lead in this lane, making the harassment that bit harder.
I almost feel like Seb is taunting to try and get EG to come back to him.
Oh, I'm sure he's muted. Don't worry about it. There's no way. He's absolutely muted. So, Anti-Mage with the Ring of Health will be that bit harder to harass now for the Rubik. He's going to continue his farming down here in the bottom lane.
It really feels
difference.
like Topson's just had the last 3 minutes by himself in mid lane.
That's the biggest difference between this game and the other Invoker game, is that Topson is having a much better time this time around, and we know what kind of tempo he can set for his team in this kind of games. But does he have targets? It's hard to kill Willow as Invoker. It's hard to kill the Anti-Mage as Invoker. It's hard to kill Mirana as Invoker. And even the Tiny, the targets, it's easy to kill Maiden. So that's nice.
It's almost like you need to pick up an Orchid in order to get the kills on these guys. So they don't counter you back.
He needs someone to combine with, but the best player for him to combine with is a Sand King, but he's
bottom lane,
yeah.
EMP, they just need to change the turn to make sure there's no blink away, and Arteezy. Spell Shield won't help you there.
4-man gank, the lift.
And instantly back into mid lane, he'll miss one melee creep. So efficient from Topson's rotation, but EG's trying one of their own. Under their own dire observer. Seb, you've been taunting for a while. You've been asking EG to kill you. And, well, you may get exactly what you wish for. Seb gets the 1 level up in attendance, stick charges, but he's got the Curse Crown on him. He can't walk this off, but TP's coming in from Rubik. Notel will look to create the space, and Seb, well, he can walk it off. Even with his tree toss from S4, I don't think he's got enough damage, and even Notel de-wards the ops.
Topson being super annoying mid. Arteezy does have the Maiden Aura though, so we'll get mana for Blink a bit sooner. Has the stick charges if he really needs to blink.
Seb just moving over. It's like, okay, well, Curse Crown me. Topson's ready to fight. Topson, in fact, please stun me too. S4 able to do it, but Jirax, he gets a double stun of his own. They get the telekinesis grab over on S4, but Jirax, he's focusing over on Crit, using that cold snap for the control. S4 now comes up as well up the hill, realizes OG owns this part of the map with the impetus. He actually gets the damage. He'll die from the fall. Jirax, not the perfect layer, but it'll still work nonetheless. Samel, Ben, burned out of mana. He's bottle charging up. Seb needs to give the attendance over towards Topson now. Now they can turn their attack over. Fly, he's arrived as well, looking for that damage. Have they got enough? Samal has the leap distance to get away to safety. And Crit, he wants to turn around Thompson. Again, that Curse Crown. It's going to get the stun. The Quas, it will not be enough life and sustain to keep Thompson alive, and Samal will quite happily take that kill.
Man, there's so much happening on the map right now. And guess who the biggest winner is, as it always is with OG?
Anna!
Anna was bottom the whole time. So much space being made for him. He's caught up. He's actually overtaken Arteezy now after that very difficult laning stage in the beginning. The one kill they got bottom, and then this move mid just created a lot of time for him.
10-minute runes, here we go again. If you thought it was going to simmer down, Jirax will take the bounty to begin with. They're looking over towards Crit. Jirax looking to actually cut through. It's a level 3 burrow, so he's not in range. The Shadow Realm being used just to protect Crit for the moment. And he'll slap an extra attack into Notal for sure. Meanwhile, Thompson alone in mid lane.
Yep.
It feels like the old classic. As you said, like Anna gets space, but then when you go down to deal with Anna, you deal with another lane, then Thompson gets space. Like, which poison do you want to die to here? The only other choice is to kill them all. EMP Tornado from Thompson in mid. Crit, he's ready to move around to work here with Fly. Samal will take the damage. He's got the one charge with the Curse Crown, and Bokus are walking out of here. He'll go invis, but it won't help him.
In the meantime, though, Arteezy is not getting single creep. OG are putting their own pressure up top where Arteezy is playing. With the siege creep,
TP, Arteezy jumps in, untouchable. That takes a long time to get one attack into Seb. He'll move into the trees. The attendants, they're going to wear off right now. But Arteezy's blinked himself forward, so Seb is quite happy to do max damage to that anti-mage. A quick Curse Crown on Jirax. He's got Burrow Striker Babel, waits it out nicely, gets the stun through the Shadow Realm, and then dodges the arrow of Samal a little late, and now that leaves Crit stranded. There's little to no damage he can do to get any kind of rebuttal, and the rest of his team has left him for dead.
I think the arrow wasn't ready, or Samal would have definitely got that on the crown. Probably had a minor cooldown from the... Oh, did he even use it? I'm actually not sure. That's just...
On the ground? The arrow? It got thrown at the end, yeah.
Yeah, that was a guaranteed stun if he used it earlier, so maybe it was on cooldown there. S4 will be pressuring bottom while all this is happening. Yes.
And what does Seb do?
Seb's going to defend it for now. He just walks in.
That's fine. What are these creeps going to do? They'll swing their arms up in the air. For Detroit. A lovely city.
Damn it.
Oh, I got him before you.
Oh.
Hey.
My joke.
Hey, I got you with the Ghostbusters, man. I got you with the Ghostbusters.
Oh, I was not thinking about that.
Yeah. Does anyone even know what that song is, or are we just proving our age?
Everybody knows that song.
Really hope so. Most people don't even know what Bonanza is.
Top from S4. They want to try on Ana here. This kill is actually flat out impossible for these two heroes. He can spin TP out.
Yep. Problem with the Avalanche, never a permanent
He doesn't have a TP.
Oh, Shadow Realm will take out the healing ward. Jirax is nearby. He may have to burrow to create some space, or he's just like, okay, Hannah, I'm sorry, man. You can omni-slash if you want to, but you're dead.
Oh, I didn't click him to check if he had a TP before that, but EG very clearly did, and they ran him down. That is a huge kill. He was the richest hero on the map. This seems to happen once or twice in every game. Ana is just being left alone and will get killed once in a while. These kills are big.
I remember the analyst panel, they're talking about like the way OG plays, like, hey, we're up on the top lane, and it was always Seb who was kind of the one who was out too far. It's like, hey, come and kill me. How many heroes did it take from EG to kill off the Juggernaut? Yeah, he's worth a lot, but then you get heavy damage into the tier 1 towers. Seb, who was the number 1, they're giving more back into him, and he's going to try and return it in with a drum build early on. And just add that level of pressure. And meanwhile, Thompson also farming up. Straight into Spirit Vessel, no Hand of Midas on this Invoker.
And there's another big item coming up soon. This one is for EG though. It's going to be the dagger for S4 and 100 gold. Some really good targets for him in this game. A lot of the Radiant heroes don't have too much max health. The Rubik support dies very easily. The Invoker dies really easily. The Enchantress also dies easily if there's a little bit of follow-up. Speaking of Enchantress, they're actually, again, they're trying, I mean, it's not happening.
No. There's more support coming in under the cover of smoke to both sides. Arteezy was being hunted, but Arteezy's game sense is tingling. And he just moves away and goes down to the Trinity camp we were talking about. Oh, I'm being invaded in my own jungle. The Observers and Sentries now being de-watered. Bottom lane set. Yep.
Okay.
Fly. Okay. Hey, real CM's channel full duration.
They threw everything and the kitchen at him. Not just the sync that time.
Oh, they'll get a lot of it back. Sumail's found a regeneration rune in bottom river.
Sumail not skilling Moonlight Shadow, by the way. What is this? Not a single point at it? I mean, he could only have one, but he's level 10.
He went for the 200 health instead.
It can be really useful for his team. Like, it can be the difference maker, but whether AM survives a gank or not. Is that worth 1 point in arrow? How about that? Okay.
I was actually kind of wondering too, like how he would build in. We were kind of tossing up like where do you get a lot of your physical damage from? Like how do you make sure you like? Obviously, there's no physical build coming in this time around. There's 200 health. We're not going to 15 damage, and he's going in for Aghanim Scepter. Huge lane clearance. And something that OG may not have an easy answer to. Like both cores are going for Battle Furies, but Anti-Mage as well as Mirana, they can clean waves up so quickly, and they're so highly maneuverable.
Mid tower.
Yep. TP comes in, Avalanche, quick spin from Ana. Sophia will be there, and that's going to force the Enchantress to run away, but Ana's in pretty deep. Still has Omni Slash available and a heavy amount of damage thanks to the Demon Edge, and Crit, well, he'll stand there, and he'll tank the entire Omni Slash. As the rest of EG back up behind the tier 2.
It was a good idea from S4, but he missed the toss on the Jugger. He tossed a creep instead that got in the way.
Seb, you're coming in deep, man. Like, they're under a shrine. He's got a lot more. Avalanche toss up into the arrow, and Thompson's trying to help out with the cold snap, pushing Sumail away. Enchantress now going to get the sprites off. No-Tail still there. The mana void. Arteezy!
Oh, the tornado!
The EMP! They're all bone dry! It is an absolute drought of EG! Oh, Arteezy's not going to be happy with that one. The arrow from Sumail well off target of Invoker. Cold snap's coming off cooldown right now. The Cursed Crown. Oh, everyone stand together and gets done. Maybe there's some damage from the Bedlam, but then a Burrow Strike from Jirax picking off Chris. And this game has escalated quickly. Meanwhile, Ana up in Norway, farming the top lane.
It feels like, I don't know how Enchantress manages to do this in her games, to just tempt everyone to try for these hard kills. If it's just a tilt effect, like you get annoyed, you're like, just kill the Enchantress, but...
Let's just get him. Let's just get him.
It's really costing EG here that they try to go for these Enchantress kills. They've got 2 on her, but how many have they failed? And how much time has that cost them?
It's cost them a lot. Juggernaut has finished a Battle Fury before the Anti-Mage.
Way before. Arteezy's not even close. He's 2,000 gold away from it right now.
The Graph in Golden Experience gets to swing up. EG has obliged OG with a lot of fights, but they need to be able to settle this game down. They need the Aghanims, they need the split push, they need the Battle Fury, they need a lot of things. But what is OG doing? Not giving them the room to breathe. Already attacking into the tier 2 tower on bottom lane.
The tempo is so high now from OG. Now they can kind of do whatever they want. Sand King will get a dagger very soon. Yep, they're going to dive as 4.
No-Tail stunned up continuously, but they'll still get the grab. Pulling back down again. Burrow Strike's available, making sure S4 does not get up the hill. Frostbite from Fly can't create enough space. And there is no other support coming in from EG. Instead, it was coming from OG. And now it's a 17-minute Blink Dagger for a support SK. We're wondering how you can make these two very not financially viable supports when it's so hard 5, but this works when Jirax has a Blink Dagger as fast as the normal offlaners to get them.
Dire are scanning.
Sumail gets a DD.
Very uncertain about fighting against Jirax even with that DD.
He was thinking about it, but didn't want to go.
Good observers and sentries from EG. Jirax, oh, he'll cop that arrow. Still under sentry. Sumail can claim that kill nice and quick. And then S4, he'll jump in as well. They're going up the supports and they've got him. Sumail with a double kill. Turn your attention over towards Seb. It'll take a long time to attack into him. The EMP burn is also there from Thompson, making life a little bit more difficult for the Dark Willow. And Seb, he wants to battle. They have sentry versus sentry. Somebody get rid of that. Flies moving forward. You can definitely see them. They're sentries.
Normally.
Oh, crit.
Oh, that's a good combo.
Really good jump in. The Bramble, he'll catch out Ana. He's got Omni Slash. He can turn around right now. There's only one creep that's there. They're doing all the spin damage into S4, but he has to burn the ultimates from Ana. He'll crit at the end.
I think S4, or sorry, not S4. I think Sumail couldn't arrow because Seb just kept running in front of him, so they couldn't combo on that. They get another kill.
The observer was bless them see. Fly, he knew he had to dodge. moved out to the side, and then just his easy pickings.
I'd love to see a replay of that because that was so beautifully executed from EG, how they did the avalanche toss into the terrorize on the jugger. All they needed was to connect an arrow, but I think Seb just ran in front of the Sumail Mirana and he couldn't land it. That's got to be what happened, and that's huge for the outcome of that. Instead of losing their biggest core, they get 2 kills. And sure, Arteezy's getting some space, but man, this is, by his standards, super late Battle Fury. And he had a good start, too.
And Crit's dead. EMP Tornado catching him up on the top, but Shadow Roll will add some protection. He's got no more mana to work with. We'll get the damage into Notel, hung around a little longer. Arrow, it flies forward. A nice long 5 seconds done. Over on the Rubicon, now go down and fly. They kill off Thompson. EG, they needed something, and that's something. Seb? Okay, I'll do this solo. Maybe I won't. Anna's nearby. Arteezy. The spell, counter spell up and running. Anna's not going to take that risk of an Omni Slash. Maybe now it's time to pick up those bounty runes. 4 of them on the field. They've been there for 30 seconds. An unusual occurrence for 20-minute bounty runes.
Yep.
But there's just so much fighting with 26 kills 20 minutes into this game.
Sumail with the scouting arrow. Doesn't find anyone. If Jerax knew, he would have taken the other one, I think. As well. He gets one. That's I think 3 for 1 trade on bounty runes in total. Once Anna gets his shit together and takes this one. He doesn't want it. I don't know. He wants to push the wave first. That's fine. Now he's going to take it on the way back. Come on, Big Camp.
Jerax is really just trying to stay on Arteezy like a tick.
Dude, is he doing this to just annoy us? It's there. He's not baiting it either.
It's income. It's coming in value. Maybe 1 gold, but it's value.
He felt like nobody from EG was going to come and try to take that. Because it was not set up as a bait. There was nobody there that would have killed on the run.
Your Alacrity buff ups up. Attack speed increased by 100, damage by 10. And Roshan, difficult to kill off. Once again, this Enchantress. Even Roshan thinks she's untouchable. But what does EG do? They scan Roshan. They know what's going on, but how fast can you move over? You're gathering for a smoke, but Roshan's practically dead. 1.4k, 1k, and they're instead going for what? Nothing. TP over does nothing. They stay with the lanes.
And Jerax is set up bottom. They want to connect over and try to kill Arteezy probably. Never mind, he's not going to go for it. He's just going to push out the wave.
Just counterspelling just in case. OG can move up through mid. It has been the name of their game throughout this tournament. 20 minutes, 22 minutes hits. Let's go high ground, boys. Anna, the front liner. Alacrity him up. Able to get quick entangle, but hey, spin's also great from Anna. Sumail's getting some level of damage.
They have so much sustain. They have the Enchantress heal, they have Healing Ward. They're going to go in with the next wave. He has the spin and Alacrity. They're just going to slowly chip this down. And Arteezy, in the meantime, has to try to get as much as possible. They don't want to take this fight because, realistically, OG are not favored in this.
Here we go again. Spin, attack, Fortify has to be used. Arteezy, as he said, like he's refusing to join this fight. EG just have to hold the high ground.
They might have to lose a Rex too, actually, before they can fight. I think Arteezy without Manta in this game is not going to be particularly useful.
Thompson's hunting. 460 move speed inside of that Ghost Walk. Yeah. Looking for a target, actually just inside the smoke. Like that's
OG
not Ghost
backing
Walk.
off, this became pretty obvious to Arteezy that something is up. But this is the thing about Crosswex Invoker compared to Exhort Invoker is Invokers playing this build are generally really high on mana, so you will be looking for, okay, maybe Arteezy can come in toward the end of the fight and get a big mana void that gets kills, but if you hit the CMP on a couple of heroes, you're super high on mana the whole time. And even that won't be an option for him.
EG's coming out. Moonlight Shadow and Smoke being committed. They want to wrap around the back. They want to do something about Jerax. You probably need a ward up on this hillside to make it happen. CM's got one, both Sentry and Observer. Fly drops the Sentry to begin with, Observer straight after. So while that's been happening, there was no defense. Tier 3 tower is gone, with even a couple of creeps to help the push go. Anna spins. Now he's going to take the melee ranks. You said EG may have to pay the price. The toss, they find one in deep. Seb under the tier 4 towers. The arrow looking to connect as well, but the Omni Slash. S4, he's just totally stranded. Anna will find the kill. Fly trying to let it go. Anna's taking through all of this, however. The sustain. I thought EG are meant to be Captain America, but OG, they can do this all day. And the cold snap, there's nothing to follow it up. 14 HP, the Sunstrike, no, you've got no tail. He stole the blink from Anti-Mage and jumps in. Of course you can do that. Finds the kill, nice chain stun. Over on top to 5 seconds up, but there's no one from EG who can get close. Jirex comes to win the epicenter, expecting EG to engage, but they're not there. As OG look for another lane of racks. Pushing through, Crit, he's getting the chip damage into Thompson. Where's your jump? Arteezy is still farming in mid lane. He will not join. Anti-Mage has not finished farming, but S4 is dead for 70 seconds. He's losing his teammates. And what does Arteezy want to do? The answer for Anti-Mage, keep on farming. What's OG gonna do?
Keep on pushing?
Sounds good to me.
There's no tiny for 50 seconds. This is... It's over. They don't have the damage. They can't kill these heroes, I think. Jump in.
Look for your target. Marana, Samael, he's leaping the wrong direction, but he had no other choice. He tried to get the Aghanims damage out, but now he doesn't have a way free. Arteezy's trying to grab the creep waves, but they're all pushed in. The bottom lane's pushed in, which is allowing this pressure from OG up on the top as Fly. Man, Jirex, he doesn't give two hoots. He's got defensive Yule Scepter available. Will get some chip damage into Nortel, but he has to fight. BKB is up for Arteezy. Now's the time, but he's getting picked up, thrown away. All that farming, and what did it achieve? Arteezy, well, it'll achieve one kill over onto Nortel. He'll blink away. Regeneration is required. Salving up so they can get back to the front lines. They can't lose all these lanes of racks. Tiny is back up again. The TP's coming to the sideline. Here comes S4. Avalanche, toss. They look towards Thompson, and maybe they got enough damage. Arteezy, the Barret from Jirex. It'll connect. The spell shield. It wasn't there to actually protect him. Now S4 is stranded. It was a hallelujah play from EG, but right now the gods are on the side of OG. Seb will get himself a double kill. The 2-bit cause for so long. Hagen's immortal will give Anna back his life. They're claiming the range racks. Megas are up 26 minutes in. EG are more than on the ropes. It's a tightrope, no net. I'm fairly certain the rope's on fire.
This happened really fast. I just want to point out how fast this happened. The game was really, really even for the first 15 minutes. And then we have this one moment where OG get multiple kills, Arteezy shows up and dies. And since then, it's been OG all the way. They get the Roche, they go push for their invincible Jugger with healing.
Oh, Samael. Up in the air, call snap, he can leap away. This is the last chance for EG. All 5 players up. There is no racks, there's no tier 4 towers to really speak of, just the one. Marana jumps in, but Anna still stands his ground. Where's the attack? EG gather on the no-tail flag, looking for an opportunity, and Anna, he's begging for it. He's got Mana Style, he's ready to dodge. They're into the trees. Arteezy blinks away, and maybe Thompson. He'll be set up towards the air. The Cursed Crown is there. He'll be able to get the nice chain stun. Crit low on life. Arteezy getting some cleave damage. They're sent away by the Terrorize. Arteezy, the Mana Void is good, but is it good enough to sustain from OG? It continues to run. Arteezy protected by the BKB. He has to jump back in again. Crit, S4. They even get the Tornado onto Arteezy over in the tree line. Goodbye. The lights are going out for EG right now. Luckily, this is a winner's bracket, but OG, they will push forward to the winner's bracket final, repeating the history of TI8, 2-1ing EG in this semi-final 2.
That's, you know what? This game is Anti-Mage in a nutshell right now. If you have a good start, you have a good landing stage, this hero, it needs time, it needs space. Arteezy, with just these 2 deaths and the limited farm that he ended up having, just gets overtaken. He gets eclipsed by this Juggernaut super quickly. And then when it comes to defense, well, guess what? You have an Anti-Mage. It's kind of 4-on-5. OG run them over, they put so much pressure, they take the Roche, they go for all the racks in one streak, and they made it look really easy, but in this replay for EG, there's like 1 or 2 moments to go and look back on and be like, man, if we don't go for the Enchantress, this game is so different. And this hero is proving to be a huge problem. They won all 3 games in the series. It was a big nuisance to the other team in all 3 of the games. But you got to, against OG, you got to choose. What do you want to ban?
You got to do something. OG, they're looking absolutely amazing. Even without Io, even without Mag, they are a world-class team looking to potentially be the first team to get back-to-back victories. Will it be possible? They look good. They look amazing. Doubters, if you thought last year was maybe a fluke, OG are looking to prove it right now. They're cool, calm, and most definitely happy.
Very happy indeed. A year in between, 2 of the same rosters meeting on the grand stage of the International. The same results. OG moving forward, EG dropping to the lower bracket. May I just also say, the handshake wasn't as hype as I was hoping it would be.
What were you hoping for?
I don't know. Maybe, either the turnaround where they, go hug each other.
Yeah.
Or Fly walks up, suplexes No Tail, WWE style.
Or that, probably not that. But, I was expecting something, and it felt like, last year there was a lot of emotion boiling. No Tail talked about that in the documentary that came out recently, and this time it felt like, he has it all worked out. All his emotions are, worked out. That's why you got a psychologist on your squad. That works.
Yep. Sometimes you got to control your emotions. It worked for you one time, but, maybe try something else out. And now guess what? OG is guaranteed top 3.
Guaranteed top 3. Tsunami, I believe you have something to close out that series with the stats or with the replay. What do you got for us?
It's a bookending. If you recall, the very first set of clips that we had featured a hero that you may know as Enchantress. Now, Sind had a great question. He saw a combination in the works, and you can see it already developing here. This is Dark Willow. She's about to terrorize this spot. You may see some little rocks lingering around. It was just freshly avalanched. It seems like a real recipe for success, right?
Mm-hmm.
In comes Enchantress. You see this little harmless little Enchantress? Well, she seems harmless until she... Oh, what's that? There was an arrow. There was an arrow coming in from Mirana. It should have just directly hit S4. Life would have been grand. No, instead, Enchantress tanks it. And everyone's just like, well, screw that. I can't do anything to her. Sumail's running around. He has no idea what to do. He's canceled like 5 auto attacks trying to go through Untouchable. Ana gets out okay. Sumail's he's still trying. He's still trying to auto attack. It's not going to happen. Enchantress, please, can I get some, wait. Let me, what does a frog look like? It's like this, and then little eyes, and then has a little mouth, and a little nose. Oh, yes.
So
frog.
Okay.
Yeah, a pretty good hero, right?
Pretty good hero.
You heard Sin talk about it, right? It's like, I definitely think you have to ban the IO Mag, and it's pretty much pick your poison after that, right? We've seen Chen's ban versus him, Enchantresses, EG ban the Elk, all 3 games versus them, and you know what? That game, like OG just looked dominant. I would say going into that series, they're probably 70-30 favorites, and they showed it in that last game.
Yeah, after that first game, though, I was a little worried, but we shouldn't have been. That was a dominant performance in that third game coming out from OG. And cornerstone of the OG squad is with Casey right now. It's Jerex.
Oh, I love that title. Shaver calls you the cornerstone of the OG squad. No, we're actually on camera now, so yeah. What do you think? Cornerstone?
I don't know.
You don't know? What are you talking about?
I let my teammates talk.
Okay.
But, yeah, maybe they can say it.
You're being way too humble. Can I try to get inside your psyche for a minute? Because every time I interview you guys, I ask how you're able to make incredible comebacks time and time again. And you always say we trust each other, and I get that. But as someone who has failed a lot in life, if I were to have a game not go very well and then have to turn around and come back, I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd get in my head. How do you not do that?
I mean, I think our team is very hungry and they're very passionate. I think it carries us basically all these bigger tournaments, and somehow it just triggers at TI, and I think that kind of sets us to the whatever we're having right now, and yeah, that helps.